Chris Ron. Sorry.
On that note,
sorry, you got to let it go.
Give up on your stupid dreams.
Well, yes, give up on your stupid dream of getting another Yachty behind the plate because it's not going to happen probably in your lifetime. Sorry to tell you that. We'll just have to make up for it elsewhere on the field, right? Amy Marks Kors, Chris Ranji, glad you're with us today. 314-436-7900, where our stream is finally up and running, and we are having some issues with it, but it's working now, so you can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Follow us at Chris Amy KMOX.
Now, 90 and 60. A look back at the latest St. Louis City SC match. Presented by Woods Basement Systems, Inc.
Corks one back post, handed down by Padelford, chested by Orozco, Francis and Edmund, he shoots and scores! It's Klaus right foot, he shoots and scores! Now that's St. Louis City soccer, baby! A couple of bounces, Leuven for the penalty arc, lifts it, oh, chested down by Betcher, tries to slide it home, oh, and it's off his chin, he handed it! Betcher to St. Ben! St. Louis City SC and Nashville SC done. City wins 3-1.
Up next, City SC faces Chicago Fire FC Saturday night. Kick at 7:30 on Y98.
Tripping over uneven concrete? Don't replace it, raise it with concrete leveling. Call the all things basement-y experts, Wood Basement Systems, for a free estimate at 618-249-5503 or learn more at woodsbasementsystems.com.
Hi, this is Jill Schlesinger, CBS News business analyst, certified financial planner, and the host of the Jill on Money podcast. This is the show where your money is not scary. It's a show that's all about you. It's your questions that make it possible for me to provide unconventional and entertaining insights on your money, and more importantly, on your life. Listen and follow Jill on Money on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Apply now and save with no application fee through September 3rd. Visit umgc.edu to get started. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Calling all future sportscasters. Sharpen your skills and learn from the best of the Missouri Broadcasters Association Sportscasters Forum, Tuesday, September 16th in St. Louis. Join Cardinals beat reporters, broadcasters, and the legendary John Rooney, the voice of the Cardinals, for insider sessions on play-by-play, interviewing, reporting, and more. Then cap the day with the Cards-Reds game at Busch Stadium. Open to college students and broadcasting pros. Just $10 for students, lunch, and a game ticket. Space is limited. Register by September 2nd at MissouriBroadcasters.org.
Hello, fellow Missourians. This is your Congressman Bob Onder. My top priority is serving you. Whether you need help with a VA claim, Social Security, Medicare, or any other federal issue, my team and I are here to cut through the red tape and give you answers. In the last 6 months alone, we have returned over $1 million to taxpayers. Call my office or visit my website, onder.house.gov, to learn more. Missouri is my home, and I'm honored to serve you in D.C.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX. Sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium. Explore the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station. KMOX is everywhere. 11:20 a.m. Streaming live on the Odyssey app. And now at 104.1 FM.
Well, we just have the best listeners, conscientious and concerned.
They do pay attention.
Ranj was out on Friday, and we have a texter asking, Ranj, how did the wedding go?
Oh, the wedding that I officiated?
He officiated. He didn't get married.
I did not get married, no.
He officiated. Inexplicably, he's asked to do this quite a bit.
Twice. Well, okay.
3
let
times.
me just
Set the table.
Let me just say this first of all. Congratulations to the bride and groom, especially the groom.
Yeah.
Because as I have told you before, I have been asked to officiate 3 weddings, and this only one of them had actually gone through. Because the other times
I thought it was the 4th wedding that went through.
Yes.
The first 3 weddings.
But let me make sure that you understand that one person was responsible for most of the asks, and his previous engagements did not make it. He finally did it. So I'm so proud of him.
You're choking up.
He
You're
did
choking up.
Yeah, he did it.
Hey,
he finally.
This is not Marjorie Taylor Greig.
This was not Marjorie Taylor Greig. He did last month. He got married, but also
that's right.
Yeah, he had, and this is my friend Amy's referencing my friend Marjorie Taylor Greig. He did get married last month, and it was successful. It went through. It was his first on his second attempt, so pretty good. I feel like I have a lot of friends who have been engaged, but have maybe say been engaged and I don't know, gone through with the weddings 50% of the time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a low percentage. At any rate, it happened, and it was in Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
Wow.
Which is, I want to say, about an hour north of Milwaukee. And by the way, they got a lot of flooding in Milwaukee. They got flash flooding. We got a storm.
National news, almost 6 inches of rain in several hours.
Yeah.
And they were rescuing people in boats.
Yeah, there was something like 600 calls. So when the wedding was about to get started, they had a weather meeting, the bridegroom and the resort, to talk about the forecast, because the wedding was supposed to be at 5:00.
Yeah. And
they told them, it's getting sketchy. In fact, we all got these severe weather alerts on our phones at 3:00, 2 or 3:00. And it said there was some sort of boat race that this is on the lake, and there was this thing, and they're like, this has been canceled because of impending severe weather. Well, we did not adjust. The bride insisted on an outdoor wedding, so we waited, and it was about 90 minutes. We did the cocktail hour first. Never been to a wedding where the cocktail hour happened first. Then we did the wedding.
Wait, was the cocktail hour inside
It was inside.
It rained?
That's correct. And then we went back outside on the beach.
Okay.
And so we had to wait it out. And my question, and she's a lovely person. I love her, but she had her heart set on this beach thing. It had to happen. We could not move it indoors. She insisted, so we did it outside. My question is, at some point, I know this is like your dream, it's your day. You've been working toward this for your lifetime or whatever, and a year, however long it takes to set up a wedding. Is there a point, though, where you're going to have to kind of face reality, maybe adjust a little bit?
Yeah.
Do you do that? Or what do you do?
Okay. No, I'm the worst person to ask, because I have never been like the bridezilla type.
Yeah.
Even as a little kid, I didn't I want to get married. Like, I had a friend who when we were little kids, saw Princess Diana's wedding.
Well, she was not a bridezilla. Let me just say that.
Okay, I don't want to besmirch her. No, this is just
she just really wanted to do this beach thing.
But that's why I'm like the opposite, in the sense that I had always thought I would go to the courthouse. Just go to the courthouse and then have a party later, because you put so much pressure and so much money into a wedding, and something inevitably is going to go wrong. But that's why also, if you were to have a wedding, I'm pro kids. I think it's funny. If kids cause chaos, which they do, that's life. And a wedding is about marriage, and marriage is life, and life is messy. But if you want your wedding to be perfect, I feel like the more unbending you are on your wedding day, the less of a chance it is that your marriage is going to work out.
To me, you have to adjust to all situations. And I sort of, I threw that in there during I had put together.
Whoa.
I improvised.
No, you didn't improvise.
Yeah.
You improvised because you didn't plan. Because I heard you say, "Oh, I'm leaving for this wedding in 30 minutes, and I haven't even started. I better work on that."
I did the ceremony the day of. I worked on it starting at about 11 o'clock in the morning, maybe noon. I think it was closer to noon.
For like 17 minutes.
I gave it a lot of thought, and I killed.
Did you?
Oh yeah, I crushed it.
Did you talk about the Bears?
I did not talk about the Bears. A lot of Bears fans there.
Did you talk about Caleb Williams?
I did not talk about Caleb Williams.
Speaking about people who I'd like to marry,
yeah.
I'd love to marry Caleb Williams.
Well, I need Caleb to step up this year, and then we'll talk about marriage.
Okay.
But no, I did not bring up the Bears.
Okay.
But I did say, we had a delay. There's a little bit of rain. It's going to rain a lot. And it's how you handle this that matters. And I looked right at her when I said it.
Oh my gosh.
I looked her dead in the eye. I'm like, you understand that sometimes things are not going to go the way you want them to go. So you better be able to figure it out.
You said this?
Yeah. I didn't say it like that, though.
That's the only way you could say it.
No,
I've never heard you say, there's only one commercial where you're very nice. Other than that, you're so mean.
No, I delivered.
Say it like you said it.
I delivered.
Do it right now.
I said it off the cuff.
Pretend Tyler's the bride.
Okay,
say it to Tyler.
I said, we had a delay today because of a storm, and there are going to be times where it rains, and it's how you handle it that really matters.
Oh, listen to that voice.
Yeah. And I said it very calmly.
You promise that's how you said it?
I swear to God. I swear.
Because you always do the raised eyebrows, go, meh, meh, that's how you handle it, meh.
I swear. It was such a kind message. I was proud of myself. And she had a big smile and she, googly eyes. I think she likes me. No, but she I think took the message. Okay. But I did hear that because here's what happened.
You called out the bride.
Well, I did not call her out. I showed up down in the groom's room at like 3:15. We were supposed to meet down there. Mm-hmm. And I had looked out the window before I went down there and I went, guys, it doesn't look good out that way. Mm-hmm. And then we all walked outside and took a look up at the sky and we all realized, it's coming. This is not good. So nobody had told the bride it was coming. So I had texted one of the bridesmaids and I said, have you seen this? And I took a photo of the sky and I sent it to them and she said, oh no. And I'm like, yes. Are you all aware of what's going on outside? Yeah. And apparently the bride started crying. So
you made the bride
I made the bride
cry.
Indirectly. Well, they had to know. You can't just tell her, hey, it's perfectly sunny outside. You can't do that. You can't lie. So, yeah, are the tornado sirens not supposed to go off just so it doesn't upset you? No, you're supposed to let people know. And so I did. And then she cried, but it happened. Yeah. Ultimately, it was good.
And then after the wedding, since you already did the cocktail hour.
Oh, also, don't do beach weddings, especially if you're marrying a dummy like my buddy who got married, because as soon as I gave him the ring to give to her, he dropped it in the sand. So he had to dig for it and find it.
And real quick, as we break, after the wedding, did you go straight to the reception? Because there was no cocktail hour to have anymore.
Right. The cocktail hour. But everything got pushed. We didn't eat till like 9:15.
Oh.
Right? Yeah. I know. Wow is right.
Yeah.
People were starving.
Just so you know, if you're listening to this and stressing out on Wednesdays, I think they do a lot of marriages at the St. Louis County Courthouse.
Look, you know what? We all did a destination wedding to Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Not a single person lived in Wisconsin.
Destination and Sheboygan have never been.
It's actually a cute little town.
The same. I bet it is. Wisconsin's gorgeous.
I hear a lot about Door County. Is that where I was?
Oh, Door County. If Chris Myhill is listening now, he's the old executive producer here at KMOX. Door County's gorgeous. Wisconsin's beautiful.
I think it is pretty too. I've been to a wedding in a place called Spring Green. It was really cool. But anyway, nobody was from Wisconsin. Nobody lived in Wisconsin. We all had to go up there. So I would say if we're going to do a destination wedding, one of my friends, if you want, St. Louis is open for business. Come down to the courthouse and we'll do it here. Okay. Amy Marks, Kors, Chris Ranji, join us, 314-436-7900. We love you. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Some people hit the bars on Friday night. Amy, she's diving deep into congressional maps.
I want your review of the Talleyrand essay by War next Thursday.
I'm so excited. John Adams, Talleyrand, and gerrymandering. Sign me up. Friday night, baby.
Working for you. The Chris and Amy Show.
It's the wildest thing she's done on a Friday in 5 years.
Weekdays at 9 on the voice of St. Louis. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Brought to you by Duke's Mayonnaise.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about the best mayo. It has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-311-9595. That's 800-311-9595.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When we started Neovitin back in 2009, we wanted to create a multivitamin that we would take ourselves. That's why we use quality ingredients in our Neovitin Original Formula multivitamin. With over 20 vitamins and minerals, along with our physician-formulated proprietary blend, you can be sure you are getting the highest quality daily nutritional support. Give Neovitin Original Formula multivitamin a try for yourself. Find it at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson. Paid for by Action Matters. Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out.
Attention parents of children who have used the gaming platform known as Roblox. If your child was a victim of sexual abuse or harm of any kind while using the Roblox platform, you may be entitled to compensation. Roblox is facing multiple high-profile lawsuits, including an ongoing class action, alleging it failed to protect users from foreseeable dangers that led to the grooming, exploitation, and sexual abuse of minors on the platform. Claims allege Roblox turned a blind eye to predators, unsafe games, and deceptive monetization practices that targeted children. Victims were contacted through in-game chats and coerced into private conversations on third-party apps. If you believe your child may have been a victim of grooming, sexual abuse, or harm of any kind while using the Roblox platform, you may be entitled to a cash settlement. Text our helpline now to find out if you have a viable compensation claim against Roblox. Text GONE to 323232. That's GONE to 323232. GONE to 323232.
We all have different ideas of the perfect retirement, but they all depend on the same thing, not running out of money. And preparing for retirement can sometimes be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Find out how to build your retirement on your terms. Join host Steve All for the All Financial Hour, Saturday mornings at 10 or Sunday evenings at 6, right here on KMOX. You can also visit yourmoneymattersstl.com for more details.
It's the annual KMOX Blood Drive with the American Red Cross, August 21st from 2 to 7 at multiple locations. Everyone who attempts to donate receives a $15 e-gift card. Make an appointment in the Red Cross Blood Donor app or at redcrossblood.org and enter KMOX for a drive near you.
Cards manager Ollie Marmol joins the Gas House Gang every Tuesday at noon. Sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center on the voice of the Cardinals. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Okay, we have talked quite a bit about Gen Z and young people, Ranj, and the data that's coming out that somewhere between let's average out to about 35% of Gen Zers have applied for a job, gotten the job, and then just not shown up for the first day of work. And they don't call anybody. They don't say anything. They just don't show up. And it's insane to me that this is just something that Gen Zers are doing. And you're hearing more and more from different places of employment, whether it's corporate America or in the service industry and restaurants, that Gen Z is so unreliable. And also the reasons that they're giving for not coming into work. And this one, I got to say, lest you think, oh, Amy, you're just, the old man yelling at clouds. This one was like a whole NPR story. Was that it could be like this guy had puffy eyes. Like his eyes were puffy and he didn't feel confident in the way he looked. Another one, their cat was depressed and they didn't want to leave their cat because the cat was depressed. And these reasons that are just insane. And you're like, listen, or your stomach hurts. I get it. There's a difference between having the stomach flu, which don't come in if you've got a stomach virus, or if you're just feeling bloated. You got to come to work, even if you're feeling bloated. Well, there's a new study that was done, and then all of the results were published in the Financial Times, and looking at young adults. And again, lest you think I'm just being negative, this young adults included millennials as well, because the age group was 16 to 39. So I'm a super old millennial at 42. Thankfully, I'm not considered in this, but I am, I think millennials, I believe, starts in 1980. And I'm an 83, so I'm still a millennial, but I'm old. But this focuses on 16 to 39-year-olds. And what's interesting about this study, it was a self-assessment. They had kids and different age groups, starting with the young group, and then there was 40 to 59, and then 60 plus. And they had thousands of people do this self-assessment. And what they found is that young adults' personalities are changing, and certain habits like conscientiousness, being responsible, organized, hardworking, and goal-oriented are in an absolute free fall. So conscientiousness is defined as the quality of wishing to do one's work or duty well and thoroughly, and being mindful of others. It could be something like picking up after yourself. It could be thinking about how your actions, like not showing up to work, might affect other people. Conscientious people, the study goes on to say, tend to be dependable, disciplined, and committed. They're careful and deliberate rather than careless and impulsive. Now, if you think, well, if conscientiousness is in an absolute free fall, and I forgot to give you the years, this is from 2016 to 2024. So that 8-year span from 2016 to 2024. It's pretty even with 60-year-olds. It goes down a bit with millennials, but it's in a free fall for 16 to 39-year-olds. Guess what has absolutely skyrocketed? And that is neuroticism. Neuroticism is generally defined around emotional reactivity. Psychologists define neuroticism in terms of a degree that someone is prone to anxiety, self-doubt, sadness. You might feel easily stressed, worry excessively. It also says that those who struggle with neuroticism, they go in the opposite direction of conscientiousness. They have lower career satisfaction, higher divorce rates, reduced life expectancy, and so on. And neuroticism is skyrocketing. And again, when you're looking at this trend, it's highly concerning. And we know that after COVID, all of us, all age groups got a little bit less social, right? We got a little more inclined to stay home because habits beget habits. But with the young group, it's gotten a lot worse. And a lot of it is pointed to just the way screens, social media, and, staring at our smartphones is actually rewiring the human brain.
I do agree that staring at your phone all day is not a good behavior. It's not helpful. It is detrimental. I think that even for adults, it is the same. I don't want to blame everything on that because we parents, and that doesn't include me, but parents who are in the millennial group or in the Gen X group like me, you got to take some responsibility because you can't complain about the new generation and not realize that you're the problem.
Raj, we created it. We created this drug and unleashed it on them.
People complained about millennials.
Yeah.
Well, who raised the damn millennials? The people complaining. So stop complaining and do something about it. Raise your kids better. Now, I will say that people are a product of their environment. I mean, there are some internal reasons that you have certain behaviors or personality traits, but a lot of it is also because of your environment. And we were talking about the Gen Zers not wanting to go to work, which again, and we have to acknowledge this has been a complaint for generations. There's always a complaint that the young kids don't want to work. Always. It's been happening for hundreds of years. But I think that we have to acknowledge that maybe sometimes it's not just smartphones, it's not just TikTok and being on social media. Some of it is kids see their parents struggle at work or go to work and work long hours and maybe never get promoted or never do better in terms of salary. And they think, well, why would I work so hard? Why would I go and bust my ass? Why would I go above and beyond when I see my mom or I see my dad go above and beyond and they're not rewarded for it? So it's not just, these stupid kids are glued to their phones and that's the reason why they're stupid and they don't want to work. That could be some of it, and it probably is a lot of it. But I think we have to acknowledge other factors too, that maybe they're taking more ownership of their lives because they see their parents and maybe their older brothers and sisters struggle when they go to work.
Maybe, but again, that wasn't necessarily in this study. This study was that the young people say that they themselves feel distracted and careless. They feel less outgoing. They feel less talkative. They feel less helpful, less trusting, and more argumentative. These are the words that they used. And because, again, remember when we talked to the young kids it was at Parkway Central last year and how they felt trapped by their phones? I wish the kids we talked to wished that everyone's phones would just go away, because if you isolate just your kid, say, well, you can't have a phone, which is a parent's right, but it does make it harder. You feel a bit ostracized. You're not getting the messages. You're not getting the communication. And I get it. And so I do feel like we've unleashed a drug on kids. And I agree with you. It's not just phones. I also think it comes into that parenting and the approach to kids where every emotion is just validated and find your own truth. And how do you feel? Where kids are now, we did it. This is our fault.
Yeah.
We trained them to be governed by their emotions. And emotions are fickle, and not all emotions are real. Some emotions are you're tired. Some are that you're hungry. Some are that you've got hormones and you're trying to control those. So no, not every emotion should be validated as a place to park. You can say, okay, you're feeling that now, but here's what we have to do. You have to do some things that you don't feel like doing.
Right, but it is, and that is all correct. But it also has to be acknowledged that it's a good thing that people are more in tune with their emotions than they used to be, because it helps correct the way they behave around other people. I think it's good to know what you're feeling and why you're feeling it in the moment. It doesn't mean that we haven't overcorrected a little bit, but it's good to be mindful of all of that stuff. This text message from a 314 says, I think all of the older generations think the generation below them is worthless or less than they are. I remember my grandpa saying, you kids ain't worth a lick. And that was 50 years ago.
But that's the thing. This is the first generation that is self-reporting that they need help. We know this. And the data, I know people go, oh, nothing's new. I agree. Nothing's new under the sun. But the scale and scope of things do change people. They do change people's habits. They do change people's minds.
Yeah.
And we've never had in all of world history the capability of the smartphone, the connectivity of it, the toxicity of it. We have more power in our hand than what sent the astronauts to the moon. And so we've never had the scale, just like, well, there was always trade. There was trade in China 2,000 years before Christ. Yeah, obviously. But we didn't have the global trade like we have now with Amazon, where you're buying things online from China with a click of a button. That the scale and scope matter. And also, you have to remember this study is it's the kids.
But did they ask kids to self-report in previous studies? Do we have that data? Because I think that would be important.
I don't know, but I could say this. I mean, you're right. It could be important. I would be surprised, because I don't know that. Like, I would have reported that I was happy and fine and driven, and I can tell a difference as an adult with the smartphone. I do think this is a game changer, and I think it's in a confluence with the parenting methods we've chosen.
Another message says the reason every generation complains about the next doesn't want to work is because each generation is not taught how to work the same way every generation is taught. And what I mean by that is parents let us go out and do things that I was able to learn life lessons. By that, I didn't allow my kids to do. So, yeah, I think a lot of us were allowed to do things that we don't allow our children to do. And maybe we should sometimes let them. And it's okay for them to fail. And it's okay for them to get hurt, because that's what will happen to you when you get older. But
big fan of failure. Gotta let kids fail.
You can't protect your kids from failure. That's good. But I think some of this other stuff is good too. I think it is a good thing to be conscious of your emotions and what that means. And, I don't think you should coddle them, but I think you should be aware of them. I think that's a good thing.
And a quick note, because we're going to continue our midweek, midday, midlife.
Yep.
And we didn't talk about the FAFO parents, the blank around and find out.
Yeah.
It's called FAFO parenting. It's coming back. There was a Wall Street Journal article. Maybe we are turning the corner from that helicopter planned play dates.
Maybe.
We'll coddle the kids. It seems that the FAFO parenting is returning.
Did you see this? Next on the Chris and Amy Show, 104.1 FM KMOX.
Your biggest choice in home restoration is, who do you trust with your home, your most valued asset? Well, few can match Banner Construction's experience and dedication to excellence. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor and Pella window specialist. Restoration is a one-time opportunity to have Banner's design team show you architectural options to make your home the neighborhood showcase. Call for a free consultation today, 314-569-1050. Now hiring qualified carpenters. BannerConstruction.com.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley for i3 Broadband, the internet provider in the Pauley household. I think you'd love it if you had them as well. We've got the 2 gig package at our home, 2 gig upload, 2 gig download mirrored, and we're spending less money than we did with the cable company for lesser service. Plus, right now, they've got savings over $400 beyond their already low standard pricing. You got questions? They've got answers. Call 877-976-0711, and they've got people there who can answer all your questions, or head to their website, i3broadband.com.
The KMOX City SC Soccer Showcase, presented by Michelob Ultra. Heads to Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grill in Wentzville, Thursday, August 14th. A limited number of fans can get an autograph or a picture with City SC left back Jay Reed. Register to win great prizes, enjoy great food and a cold drink. Hot Shots in Wentzville, the place to be, Thursday, August 14th from 6 till 8 p.m. for the City SC Soccer Showcase, presented by Michelob Ultra. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
Hey, it's Jeff Sachs at Sachs Financial, retiresafestl.com. Have you ever wondered what it's like to work with a financial advisor? Are you in your 50s or early 60s and really haven't talked to anybody about how you retire? Give me a call today. Check out our website, retiresafestl.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
Grunge, I just saw this, and it is something that is closing, shutting down for good, that I didn't know was still around.
Is it, Is it that?
Was this yours?
Yes, it was.
AOL quietly announced on Friday that it is pulling the plug on dial-up internet.
I saw this like a day or two ago.
Yeah.
And my thought was, you could still dial up?
So in 1999, AOL had more than 18 million subscribers. In 2015, there were about 2 million AOL dial-up customers. In 2021, that number was, quote, the low thousands.
Oh, so maybe like 1,000 or 2 people. Like, I'm just going to assume 3,000 people are dialing up.
Wouldn't you have?
Is this in the entire world or in the country?
It just says for all of AOL.
Oh, my God.
Every single person that
Did you even know
AOL
AOL was still a thing?
I didn't, and I wouldn't know how to do dial-up. Would you just use the plug like we used to use, I guess?
Oh,
I don't even know.
You didn't do this?
Well, like it was the phone line, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you would take it out of the
so
wall.
You could still do it, I guess. I didn't know you could still do it.
In the very early days, you'd have to take it out of the wall.
Yeah.
And then plug it into your computer. And then you would log in log in. You would dial in.
I don't want to
from
brag,
there.
but I think we had 2 of those cords because I don't remember unplugging the phone.
Yeah. Then it got to the point where they had a separate line.
Okay.
I think they called it ISDN or something.
Well, no. We had a cord, but it still used up the phone.
Well, yeah, it was a cable.
Yeah, it used your landline.
Okay.
So right?
I don't know, but I do know that when you were dialed in, you could not make phone calls.
Yeah.
Amy, I got great news. You know, coffee is good for you. There are already all sorts of studies that say drinking about 3 cups of black coffee a day give you health benefits like reducing risk of heart disease, multiple sclerosis, which I didn't know, type 2 diabetes, liver disease, prostate cancer, stroke, and dementia. So I love coffee.
Yeah. And I love it. I'll drink it even if it's killing me. But I feel like that's not true. Because I thought like MS, right? You have to avoid inflammation. A lot of those diets are avoiding inflammatory foods. Like Tom Brady doesn't eat nightshades. He avoids anything that's inflammatory.
Yeah.
So how could coffee be beneficial?
Well, I don't know, but that's what the studies tell us.
Okay.
So but we're talking about black coffee now.
Yeah.
Now, they're also finding that caffeinated coffees are mostly free of toxins. So, the sorts of toxins that end up in a lot of our food supply, like arsenic and mercury
I'm
and lead.
surprised by that too, because I heard, again, I'm drinking a drink that is killing me, but I had read that like the mold and the toxins in coffee are so bad, you have to go out of your way to find some kind of good coffee.
Not according to Clean Label Project, which has conducted a study, and they have found that many of these toxins do not exist in coffee.
Interesting.
But yeah, there are a couple of herbicides, like...
Is it herbicides or herbicides?
Herbicides? I think it's herbicides.
I do too.
Glyphosate?
Oh, that's
Glyphosate?
a famous one. Yeah, that's famous.
Yes, so that's one that does sometimes appear, and it has neurotoxic effects. But for the most part, all the other toxins, coffee is free from.
What?
Well, maybe I'm having too much coffee because now I can't speak.
Free from. Wow. Well, that's good news. I don't know if I believe it, but I'll take it because I'm a coffee addict, which is a bad sign.
Today's a big day. It's the first day of school for many of y'all. We want you to tell us about your experiences. And is this too early? Is it too late? Feel free to text into the show or Odyssey app. Leave a voice message. Hour 2 of the Chris and Amy Show next.
This is Tom Becker with Climate Masters. We don't just sell air conditioners. We sell comfort. We sell solutions. We sell a job well done, and we fix bad jobs. Climate Masters, because you need someone you can trust. Someone who earns your respect and 5-star reviews. Climate Masters, selling high-quality Carrier air conditioners. Turn to the experts. Climate Masters, quality work for over 40 years. Just type in Climate Masters and give us a call.
Dive into adventure this summer at the St. Louis Aquarium's Summer of the Shark. Get face to fin with some of the ocean's most awe-inspiring creatures in shark-themed exhibits, jaw-dropping displays, and interactive experiences for the whole family. Whether you're a fin-tastic fan or just curious, there's hands-on fun and fascinating facts around every corner at the St. Louis Aquarium. Don't miss your chance to make a splash. Plan your visit today at stlouisunionstation.com. That's stlouisunionstation.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Summer is here, and it's time to plan your style staycation with Bob's Discount Furniture, where you can find everyday low prices on the hottest styles. The comfiest Consumer Reports recommended mattresses, fast, friendly delivery, and flexible financing to fit your budget. Go to mybobs.com for details. So stock up and score everyday low prices, delivered on time all summer long at your nearest store or at mybobs.com.
Oh, my Bob! Bob's Discount Furniture.
I met my wife in law school at the University of Florida. She was from upstate New York and I was from Kentucky. We met at a daily mass at St. Augustine's. She was the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen in my life. After communion, I followed her out of the church and got her phone number. The rest is history. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Little did we know that one day we would have 4 children and the largest injury firm in the world. All 4 work in the business. It's a family business. Did I ever see this coming? Hell no. We just worked very hard and treated our clients like we would want to be treated, like family. It's a full-service injury firm, auto accidents, medical malpractice, workers' compensation, Social Security, and insurance disputes. We're open 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit forthepeople.com and we can get to work on your case. No recovery, no fee. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It is 10 o'clock. We've got partly cloudy skies, 82 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. President Trump putting more federal agents on the streets in Washington, D.C. to stop what he calls rampant crime, murder, and death. The effort started a couple of weeks ago when Trump blasted the city for a street crime where a former DOJ employee was beaten for trying to prevent the carjacking of a woman. In truth, statistics show crime is down in D.C. compared to a spike in 2023. We get more from CBS's Scott McFarland.
Agents from the Washington field office of the FBI, from the U.S. Secret Service, from Homeland Security, from the U.S. Park Police. This is not a typical mission for some of these officers to be there on the front lines on the street trying to do traffic stops or patrol against crime.
It's not just criminals Trump is going after, but the homeless as well. He's not offering help for the homeless, but says they're going to be moved out of D.C. The Democratic mayor of Washington, Muriel Bowser, is pushing back on Trump's claims, saying the city is not experiencing a crime spike, but that violent crime has actually fallen to a 30-year low. A federal judge in New York has ruled that transcripts of secret grand jury testimony in the sex trafficking case against Jeffrey Epstein's former girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, will not be released. Judge Paul Engelmayer issuing that ruling today, saying the releasing of those transcripts would risk unraveling the foundations of secrecy upon which the grand jury is premised. Maxwell currently serving a 20-year prison term for her conviction on sex trafficking charges, although after being interviewed by Trump's Justice Department, she was moved from a prison in Florida to Texas. President Trump calls the Epstein files a hoax. The German chancellor inviting President Trump, Ukrainian President Zelensky, and NATO Secretary General and several European leaders to virtual meetings on Wednesday ahead of Friday's Trump-Putin summit in Alaska. Europe and Kyiv worrying that a deal could be made with Trump and Putin without them. County Executive Sam Page will have some competition on his hands. State Senator Brian Williams announcing his intentions to run for a seat in the primary challenge. Republican County Council member Dennis Hancock, the former mayor of Fenton, is officially announcing his candidacy for county executive this hour. The weather is sponsored for you by Anderson Hospital. We've got sunshine mixing with clouds today and tomorrow. We could see a thunderstorm in a couple of spots popping up both days. Today's high around 90, tomorrow 91. Right now it's 82 degrees with partly cloudy skies at 10:03. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Serving the Metro East region with excellence, Anderson Hospital is proud to be named one of Newsweek's World's Best Hospitals for 2025. Experience world-class care close to home. AndersonHospital.org.
Chris Ranji, Amy Marks Kors. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores with you.
Hour two, Amy.
Hour two.
Of Tree. We do 3 hours, 9 to noon every weekday.
This show is jam-packed. We told you.
Packed with jam.
Packed with Oh my gosh. I never thought of jam-packed as a reference to fruit preserves, but it might be.
Okay, don't steal that because I'm going to start a business.
Yeah. Called Packed with Jam.
Well, it's going to be...
Is that... What about nice package?
Oh, we're still doing nice package. Don't steal that either.
And packed with jam?
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
Gonna be confusing.
In case you've never listened, I have an idea for a delivery service.
Explain it real quick.
Like FedEx, UPS.
Yeah.
But all of the drivers have really short cutoff shorts, men and women alike, and it's called nice package. So do not steal that. Because I can sue you because I put it out there first. It is my intellectual property.
Okay? It is. Okay.
So don't steal that.
So
And do not steal packs with jam either. Okay.
My sister was going to open an Irish pub called Bucket O' Loogies, which is really,
Bucket O' Loogies? What the hell?
Really gross. Now that I say it out loud.
You ever seen okay, this is completely off. We have a real thing to get to. We're going to get to it. Let us be sidetracked for a moment.
Fit on content.
I told Sean Malone, our KMOX reporter, who's fantastic. I said, hey, we're short on content today. You want to come talk to us? Which is not true. We had a good show planned for you.
We have a great show, so get to it.
Yes. But there's like the guy there at the drive-through, and they're Australian.
Yeah.
Clearly Australian because they have the accent. And she's trying to order, and he's in the passenger seat going, "You got any buckets of soup?" I can't do an Australian accent. Just a big bucket of soup. Have you seen this guy?
Nope. No.
It's great. She's trying to order, and she keeps interrupting him. That's what I thought about when you said buckets of loogies. Okay.
Anyway.
Continue.
Yes.
Today's a big day, isn't it?
So today, for a lot of kids, but not all kids, first day of school.
Man.
Which feels way too early. So it's August 11th. I know that some schools had their freshman orientation on August 7th, which
August
also
7th?
feels way too early because people are on vacation still that first week of August. Okay, now I get it. I was homeschooled. So we picked our start date.
You had the shortest commute possible.
Fall down the stairs, you're at school.
Which she did. That's how she got,
That's how I got to
class.
school.
She
Yeah.
fell downstairs.
Yeah. And we would always start the first Monday after Labor Day. So we started in September, which I think 50 years ago, maybe that was when people started school, was after Labor Day. Not exactly sure, but I think that was an old-timey thing. We started school the first Monday after Labor Day. I know for a fact it's gotten earlier and earlier and earlier over the past couple of decades. August 7th for freshman orientation was really early. But I want to know, I feel like a lot of schools in the St. Louis area are starting today or next Monday, August 18th. I've seen a lot of August 18th start dates,
Okay.
which feels a little bit more normal to me. Again, it's still early, but I do think that at least August 18th is respectable early. August 11th is obscene. To me, it's obscene.
So
3 weeks of August school? I don't remember that with my classmates at all.
I have no way of checking on this because it's been 30 years since I've gone to high school, but it does not feel like we got this. Now, college, I do think it was first or second week of August.
Can you ask Pam?
I'll find out, but I don't think we used to go this early. I'm pretty sure it was mid to late August before we started.
Because I
remember the shock of going to college thinking, oh man, we're really starting early. Because that's not what we were used to.
And I feel like growing up, everybody goes, not everybody, but a lot of people go to a pool, right? You have the neighborhood pool or a community pool. Bluebird Park was a big thing. Did you ever go to Bluebird Park?
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
It's out in Ellisville. It's like the public pool.
Yeah, no, I didn't go to Ellisville.
Well, you had a grandma in Baldwin, so.
Yeah, but we stopped at Baldwin. We didn't go to Ellisville.
Okay.
Until my aunt moved there.
It was like the public park. And then there was a public pool in St. Peter's that when we visited my papa and grandma, they would take us to that pool. And I just remember, I feel like in my head, it was the regular school kids, right? Public and private school kids would go to school for 1 week while the pool was still open, which would imply a week before Labor Day. And then it would be Labor Day, a Labor Day weekend. Because I always thought, why would you go to school for a week only to have, a holiday in a short week? And then they would start school in September. And it was kind of this idea that first week of school, which was the week before Labor Day in August, you got oriented to the school and your schedule and all of that. I never remember 3 weeks of school while the pool is still open.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. That's almost a month of school.
Colonel Ripper is watching on YouTube and comments, which you can do too. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter at Chris Amy KMOX, you can make a comment and we'll see a lot of them. And he says it is way too early. My childhood in St. Louis City, before I went to school and many years after, we started the first Thursday after Labor Day.
So if Labor Day is a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
You'll start a couple days later.
And Labor Day is in September, is it not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this just feels very, very early.
So 314-436-7900. Any of your thoughts about the first day of school, whether it's, your kids, are you bringing them to school? Also, it's interesting when you have grade schoolers and high schoolers in the same house and they, maybe the grade schoolers start a week earlier than the high schoolers or vice versa. Also, spring breaks that don't align. That's a bummer for families.
Here's another texter who is right on that. Must be one of the old millennials or the
young Gen X.
Yes, or young Gen X. Graduated in 1998. says,
oh yeah, that is like I think that's the very oldest millennial because my sister
or the
is
very youngest Gen X.
She's 81 and she graduated in 99.
So this could be a millennial here, and said, we don't remember ever starting before Labor Day. Our summer was always Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Right. And I remember when my friends, like, again, I keep saying my friends
Multiple
because
texts, by the way, are coming in saying St. Louis City was always after Labor Day.
Interesting.
Yes.
And I think St. Louis City this year is August 18th. I'm pretty sure. I need to double check because I was looking at all the school districts and now I'm confused. Yes, and I know like there were some schools. Remember when there would be snow days? And so they would add days to the end of the year. And I remember one of my friends is like, we have school until June 2nd. And I just thought like that was the biggest travesty in the world that they had school until June 2nd. But now a lot of schools will go almost until June or until June 1st, whatever it may be. But the early start feels foreign to me for sure. It feels like, no, I know my friends started going to school in late August, but they weren't going August 7th.
No, this does feel very, very early. And our producer, Frank, is telling us that the issue with starting that late after Labor Day was that your first semester was broken up by Christmas break. So now it is more balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Our Christmas break, what was it for you in high school? Because for us, it was just a week. It was maybe a couple of days before Christmas, maybe the 23rd we were getting out, and then we were off Christmas Eve, obviously, and then Christmas Day, and then we were off until the 2nd or 3rd of January. That's pretty standard, right?
I think so. No, I think high school is 2 weeks for Christmas.
Okay.
Because they don't go back to school, Ranj, before New Year's Day. High school is at least 2 weeks for Christmas.
Oh, that could be right.
That was I know it was that way for the Parkway School District because it's more, like I said, I think it was more than 2 weeks. But they are just switching, I believe, this year. They were doing finals after the Christmas break, which is diabolical. Is that what you did, Tyler? Okay, but you remember that they switched. They used to do finals before Christmas break, as you should. And then for a handful of years, they did finals after Christmas break.
Yeah, and then I think this year, when we got all that snow, it delayed them another week of being at home. So essentially had 3 weeks to just sit and wait on finals.
You know, guys, I don't remember the added days at the end of the year. I'm not saying we didn't have it. I just don't remember.
It makes sense because every school district is so different, right? It makes sense that you would have
Or
different policies.
Maybe in Granite City, they just said, screw it. You're not going to learn anything anyway. That's not true. Granite City had a good school district. It was good.
Yeah.
But you all crapped on us.
We did?
And you still do, all of you in
When?
Missouri. Oh, the entire region.
Well, that's because you're crabby.
No.
I know 4 people from Granite City, and they're all pretty crappy.
Who else is from
Crabby
Granite City?
with a B,
Who else?
not P.
Who else?
My friend that I'm not going to dox.
Okay. Somebody in this newsroom?
Oh, no. Is someone in the newsroom from Granite City?
Brad Choate?
Oh, he's very friendly.
Megan Lynch used to live in Granite City.
Well, she can be a little edgy.
Oh! Open the door. Megan! I hope she's listening. Megan?
You know what
Amy
it is?
called you a grouch.
They're not going to blow smoke. Granite City doesn't. They're not going to send out. Stop gesturing. She's fine.
I'm not telling Megan Lynch that you said she's grouchy.
Do you know what? Okay, I know we got to go, but do you know what? Listen, if you guys are mad at me about Granite City, you know who you need to be mad at? Kevin Killeen.
Why? What did he do?
KMOX reporter.
What are you blaming him for?
He used to write every year.
I know what you're going to say.
He used to write the KMOX Christmas play that we would perform live, the holiday play. And we would perform live at, was it the Sheldon Concert Hall? Wherever it was, we would perform it live. And I, in one play, was a mother of 6 kids. I think I was pregnant with my 6th child. I was Tom Ackerman's wife in the play, like he was the husband. And we were in a plane flying home for Christmas. And one of my kids said, Mom, what's that down there? Is that purgatory? And my line was, no, son, that's Granite City.
You know what?
That's mean.
Kevin Killeen can go straight to hell. Don't talk about my town. Do not talk about Granite City like that. If I have a complaint about my town, I'll say something. I don't need you saying something about it.
Right. And we get that script day of. So it's not like I had time to say, hey, Kevin, can you change this line? It was like what John Mulaney used to do to Bill Hader when Stefan and his news, and he would change the script in the moment. That's what I had.
Yeah.
I got hit with that line. I had to disparage the fine people of Granite City.
Yeah, don't you ever do that again.
I won't.
Granite City, blue-collar, hard-working people, and if you think ill of them, you can stick it right. You know where you can stick it.
In the steel mill.
you bastards. Don't you ever. None of you. I don't want to hear it from any of you. Your state sucks. Just kidding. I love Missouri. Chris and Amy on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Calling all future sportscasters. Sharpen your skills and learn from the best of the Missouri Broadcasters Association Sportscasters Forum, Tuesday, September 16th in St. Louis. Join Cardinals beat reporters, broadcasters, and the legendary John Rooney, the voice of the Cardinals, for insider sessions on play-by-play, interviewing, reporting, and more. Then cap the day with a Cards-Reds game at Busch Stadium. Open to college students and broadcasting pros. Just $10 for students, lunch, and a game ticket. Space is limited. Registered by September 2nd at MissouriBroadcasters.org. The Siteman Cancer Center spotlight how an innovative immunotherapy is showing promise against aggressive T-cell cancers. Joining us is Dr. John DiPersio.
Until very recently, until this paper and a few other groups in the world have sort of developed approaches for T-cell malignancies, there was no hope for patients who relapsed. There were no effective therapies. This is a way of treating these patients that would normally have no other recourse.
For more information, visit siteman.wustl.edu.
Home title theft. It's on the rise, and it's devastating if it happens to you. Listen to the alarming words of an actual home title thief.
I don't need to know your date of birth and social security number. All I have to do is go to public records, create a document, and file that document. And then I can borrow against the house or sell the house. You may have no clue until you find out that your house has been sold or till several loans or several banks are foreclosing on you.
For pennies a day, Home Title Lock puts a virtual barrier of protection around your home's title with 24/7 monitoring. The instant they detect any tampering, you'll get an alert. And that's bad news for home title thieves. So when's the last time you checked on the title to your home? Find out if you're already a victim with your free title scan and complete title report. $100 value free with sign up. Just go to HomeTitleLock.com and sign up in minutes. That's HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com.
Now, 90 and 60. A look back at the latest St. Louis City SC match. Presented by Woods Basement Systems, Inc.
Corks one back post, and now by Padel, adjusted by Orozco. Branson and he shoots and scores! Klaus right foot, he shoots and scores! Now that's St. Louis City soccer, baby! A couple of bounces, Lubin for the penalty arc, lifts it. Oh, it's just down by Bencher, tries to slide it home. Oh, and Thomas City handed it! Bencher to save Ben! St. Louis City SC and Nashville SC done. City wins 3-1.
Up next, City SC faces Chicago Fire FC Saturday night. Kick at 7:30 on Y98.
Tripping over uneven concrete? Don't replace it, raise it with concrete leveling. Call the All Things Basement-y experts, Wood Basement Systems, for a free estimate at 618-249-5503 or learn more at woodsbasementsystems.com.
Guys, Glover here. August is Pet Appreciation Month. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $129, 15% off pet odor treatments, and take $50 off your air duct cleaning. Book online at ZeroResSTL.com or call 314-474-2020.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX, sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium. Explore the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station. 104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of St. Louis. Stronger than ever.
Join the show at 314-436-7900. You can text in whenever you want. Messages on the Odyssey app, that voicemail feature we have, the voice message feature. Super simple, easy to use, and you can drop your thoughts just by recording it and sending it to us, but you should have the Odyssey app on your phone anyway. You can listen to the station live. Of course, we're on 104.1 FM now. If you didn't know, we've been here for a few months, and it is going swimmingly.
Oh, people love it. They can find us now.
Sounds great.
I have friends who have listened to this show for the first time ever because they're scanning the radio stations.
Yeah.
And you don't scan AM when you're scanning FM. So they found us anyway.
So good to have you along for the ride if you are just being a part of our show, right?
Yes. We were talking about Granite City and how really I was accused of disparaging Granite City, but really we just got to point the finger at Kevin Kleen's Christmas play.
Yeah, it's his fault.
Yeah. At any rate, Jen, who's watching on YouTube, said, my kids played youth hockey and Twin Bridges / Granite City were some of the worst parents.
Well, Jen, maybe your team sucked.
Well,
maybe
Granite City's getting hit. I feel kind of bad. We need some people to stand up for Granite City.
That's me. I'm doing it. I'm Jon Snow in the Battle of the Bastards, holding back all of you bastards.
I'm not even going to
come after. You're trying to come after my hometown.
GC.
I will bury you. I'll bury you in that steel mill somewhere. They won't find your body ever.
Just as a quick note, that was a murder she baked. Someone got buried under the cement in a mill.
Yeah, well, that's where your body's going.
At any rate, I don't feel comfortable reading the rest of these because I'm not going to besmirch GC. Mine was in good fun.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna have this. Oh, is this guy on YouTube?
I know. I'm not gonna read it.
This guy on YouTube says, let's be honest, nothing good ever slithered its way out of Granite City unless they work for KMOX. So that is a compliment to me, and I appreciate it. But you disparaged my hometown.
Oh.
You can also go to hell.
Hey, guess what I did?
What?
I went to the birthday party for Taleo Coffee in Kirkwood.
Yeah.
And they had all these local vendors, like a farmer's market, right? Out in the parking lot, a huge celebration, a wonderful time. Guess I bought something from a tent, and the woman working there, guess where she was from?
Granite City.
That's right.
Was she nice?
The nicest woman.
Told you.
Helped me with some issues I was having.
Yeah.
With sore joints because I'm 100 years old.
Yeah.
She works at the steel mill in Granite City.
See?
And I asked her, I said, hey, how are things going? She's like, well, we were bought by Nippon Steel. I'm like, yeah, have you noticed a difference? And she said that she hasn't noticed a difference in anything and that they, promised at least 2 years. So she just kind of shrugged and said, I'm waiting it out. I'm going to stay there as long as I can. They promised us 2 years. I'm going to keep working there as long as I can. But she was very friendly, very nice, and she helped me out.
See, what did I tell you? Blue collar, hardworking people, reside in that town.
Working on a
From
weekend.
there.
Drove all the way from GC to Kirkwood to work on a weekend.
Hardworking people.
Yep.
So, keep our names out of your mouth unless you have something good to say.
Jen, who also disparaged Granite City, but she said her husband worked at the steel mill there.
So then she should know better.
Or maybe she knows too well.
Jen watching on YouTube. Again, you can watch on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We have a text message. It says, Megan Lynch can be edgy. Ouch. You, Amy, I can't believe you said that about. I love Megan.
Megan's my favorite.
Sometimes I wish she would fight you because she plays hockey too, doesn't she?
She doesn't want to fight me. She wants to fight you.
No, she loves me.
I don't know if you listeners know this, but Ranj tends to think that he's cute. He thinks he's charming, and he thinks his little I'm just ribbing you. I'm giving you a tough time. He thinks it's adorable, and it really bothers him that Megan Lynch doesn't fall for it.
Amy, I don't think I'm charming. It's in the yearbook.
The GC yearbook?
It is. There was because there are the class traits.
Oh, no. You've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Okay, what does it say?
It's like class charmer or something like that.
Oh my gosh, I get it. Guys,
what do you want? What do you want from me?
We have a show that's so full of content. I can't believe we're doing this. But if you could meet Chris Ranji, he walks around. He thinks it's charming. I call it harassing. But he walks around harassing people in the newsroom like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, do you love me? Oh, tell me you love me.
I don't say that.
Yes, you do.
I do not say that to the newsroom.
And he looks at you like
I might do it to women, but I don't do it. I do not talk like that to the newsroom.
like Megan, are you having a good day? What do you think, Megan? Do you love the show? Say you love the show, Megan.
I do not ask her that.
Yeah.
I know she hates it, and that's fine.
She is not falling for it. Megan she's a hard Scrabble reporter.
She really is. She doesn't have time for your nonsense.
No, your nonsense.
I don't. I let
What do you
Megan
do to
breathe.
Stuart when you walk by Stuart's desk?
Oh, I always tap him on the ear.
Yeah,
He doesn't like that. Stuart McMillan, he's hard at work on a story right now.
Here's what we've said. Ranj's dream is to be in a sexual harassment video.
I do want to be in the training video.
Training video.
I want you to be
he
at your
doesn't care if he's the harasser or the victim.
Or the
and what
victim.
I'm saying is your life is a harassment video, and it could just be a candid that we could play.
So if Odyssey Corporate ever refilms the that training module, I want to be the actor in it.
Yeah.
I'm already in the union. I'm in SAG-AFTRA.
Yeah.
We are all in it. So I think I can do it. I could be in that spot.
So Robert,
And you're right. I don't care if I'm the person who is being the creepy harasser at work or if I am being harassed. It doesn't matter to me.
Megan Lynch is walking around this newsroom serious as a car accident.
Yeah, 'cause she's
not
doing work.
knowing that we're talking about her. Robert is watching on YouTube. He said the DMV in GC, Granite City, would let you walk out with license plates in
True.
hand. No temp tag needed. That's the compliment that I can come up with. Oh, that's a great
Well,
compliment.
it's not the only thing. There are lots of good things in Granite City. So I think you should visit. They have nice little art festival type things in the little downtown area. You should go see
My
them.
good friend lives in
They have a
Granite.
good Mardi Gras now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they've built up their Mardi Gras. You should check it out.
My good friend lives in Granite. Do you know who that is?
No.
Pam.
Okay. This
Pam
text message.
is Ranji's mother,
This
and we have a lot in common.
This text message says, say what you want about GC, but it is the soccer capital of the Midwest. Think
Oh.
Coach Gene Baker
Mm.
and his numerous state championships and extremely hardworking blue-collar people. Yes, Gene Baker passed away within the last couple of years. An legendary soccer coach.
They
Like
should have-
everybody, and
Yeah,
Bill
yeah.
McDermott,
Mhm.
all the local St. Louis soccer legends, they know Gene Baker. Prolific coach. And yeah, I don't know what it looks like now, but I remember when we were in the state. I mean, I didn't play, but everybody went up to the state championship when Granite City played Palatine back in '94. Palatine, Illinois, which is a Chicago suburb. So we played up there, and just looking at the program, the record book. I mean, Granite City had all the records for the state. It may be different now because it's been 30 years, but back then it was prolific, man.
Is there a Granite City SC?
There should be. There really should.
Well, this
So-
was a delightful conversation.
Mhm.
We'll probably have a similar one next Monday when school starts for everybody else.
Granite City, when did you start school? Let us know. 314. Okay. When we come back, we are going to talk the weekend. The Cardinals took 2 of 3 from the Cubs. Yadier Molina in the dugout for a couple of those games, serving as a coach. Really cool visual, really cool thing happened over the weekend. Matt Pauley is the host of Sports Open Line, Redbird Rush Hour, and pre and post game. He will join us to talk about the weekend next on KMOX.
Wake up informed. Wake up empowered. Wake up to Total Information AM, your morning must.
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey. I'm Megan Lynch.
This is Tom Ackerman. From local news to breaking headlines to weather, traffic, and the stories that matter most, we've got you covered before your first sip of coffee. Expert analysis, bright perspectives from the people you trust. Total Information AM, your day starts here. Mornings beginning at 5 on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Brought to you by Eamon Gantner and Capriano, YourEstateMatters.com. Hi, Margaret at Eamon Gantner and Capriano. We all have one thing in common. We're all going to die. Do you have an estate plan? Eamon Gantner and Capriano, YourEstateMatters.com. The choice of an attorney is an important decision that should not be based solely on advertising.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up. Landstorylaw.com. Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Land Story with the Land Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Land Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Land Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURY, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Land Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Hi, I'm Dr. Colleen Bosler, and I'd like to introduce our newest associate, Dr. Adam Voss.
Hi, I'm Dr. Adam Voss, the newest addition to the Audiology Center. I'm very excited to join this amazing team. I'm a St. Louis native, graduated from Washington University School of Medicine, and I'm passionate about hearing healthcare and connecting people back to the things that matter to them most: family, friends, music, or even their favorite British TV drama. At the Audiology Center, we care for our patients like our own family. If you ever need anything, come on by or call us and we will make sure to address questions or issues same day. My ultimate goal as your audiologist is to listen to your individual needs and guide you on your journey to improved hearing. There are a lot of audiologists in town, but only one Audiology Center. We might not know how to change a tire, but we know a thing or two about audiology. And I want our current and future patients to know that you can trust us with your hearing healthcare needs.
Thanks, Dr. Voss. The Audiology Center, 3 locations. Come visit us at theaudiologycenterstl.com for more information.
Don't miss Mosby Building Arts Home Improvement Shows, Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KMOX. One of the last call-in shows where you can get live answers to your remodeling, design, and construction questions. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m.
Today, the Cards, the Rockies, Ameren Total Access 550.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Takes his lead. Iminaga delivers to Gorman, swing, and a base hit to right field. Walker rounds third, he's headed home. Throw to the plate, not in time. Down to second, and safe is Nolan Gorman. The Cardinals take the lead.
2 of 3. That's what the Cardinals did this weekend against the Cubs at Busch Stadium. They won against a team that really was picked to win the division by just about everybody and has found themselves in a bit of a free fall. Meanwhile, the Cardinals holding pretty steady after the trade deadline. They've been gone 500 in their last 10 games. So not terrible, not great, but they're 3.5 games out of a wild card spot now, which is kind of about what they've been for the last several weeks, fluctuating a little bit, but they're within striking distance. So here we are, getting close to the middle of August. And that's the situation the Cardinals in. We go to the guest line and we bring in Matt Pauley, who is the host of Sports Open Line, and Redbird Rush Hour, which happens at 5 o'clock every weekday, and also pre and post game coverage. Matt Pauley, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing okay. Nice job by the Cardinals this weekend. Ended up being a fun series. Of course, they got shut out on Saturday, but you take 2 of 3 from a team that is experiencing a little bit of the Cubs are not having good times right now. Meanwhile, the Cardinals, after their trade deadline, getting rid of a lot of their back end of the bullpen, they're holding steady for the moment.
Yeah, it's funny. You look at these last 2 series. They take a series against the Dodgers and take a series against the Cubs. They end up getting kind of destroyed in the middle game where, they lost 12-6 to the Dodgers and they lost 9-1 to the Cubs. But then they find ways to win those other games and win them close. That's kind of why a lot of people have taken a look at their run differential here lately, where their run differential is at -18.
For the season overall, yeah.
Right. So to put that in perspective, the Reds, who are the team right in front of them in the wild card standings, are +41. And the Giants, who are the team right behind them, are +11. So the Cardinals are -18. So I think that has a lot to do with the resource allocation. You use the pieces that are going to help you win games in the games that you're likely to win, and you're able to recognize the games that you're not likely to win, and you avoid using those pieces, especially from a pitching standpoint.
Yeah, so I don't know how many people are wondering this. I think about it. I don't know that I lean toward this happening, but even with all the trades they made, even with subtracting from the roster, how likely is it that we are at least playing some meaningful / interesting games in the middle or late September?
Yeah, I think it's probable. So, and let me be very clear. I hate that these words are going to come out of my mouth, and I hope I'm wrong, and I think I can be wrong. Like, this is not something I'm 100% convinced of. I don't think this is a playoff club, but I do think they're a team that continues to hang around at 3.5 games out. If they just remain 3.5 games out, then every game is going to matter between now and game 158. So I think that's going to kind of be how it ends up playing out, that they'll stay in this area. Maybe they'll bump up to 2.5 or 2 at some point. Maybe they'll fall back to 4 or 5 again. But I think they'll kind of stay in this area. But like, the Mets have been terrible. I mean, just terrible. They've lost 7 in a row, and I believe like 11 of the last 12 or 10 of their last 11, something like that. And they are opening up the door for teams like the Reds and the Cardinals to kind of stick around in this thing. The Reds are 2 games in front of the Cardinals right now. So I think there's going to be meaningful games played. That isn't me saying that I think this team is going to be a playoff team, but I also don't completely shut that door right now.
Yeah, I look at it like this, Matt, when it comes to the playoffs and the Cardinals' chances, and they're 3.5 games out. I get it. We don't know what the expectations were this season. They weren't high. But the games are meaningful now because as the Cardinals take on the Rockies, then they take on the Yankees, their fate is still in their hands. Meaning, if they can pull it together and win some games, they're going to have a good shot. They still have some control over their future. If you don't keep winning these games, if you kind of are mediocre over the next couple of weeks, you don't have that control anymore, and you're just like hoping teams fall apart. I think while you have the ability to control your destiny so much as it comes when it comes to the playoffs, as much as you can, you have to take advantage of that.
Yeah, and you got to have success against the Rockies. If they go lose 2 of 3 to it was losing 2 of 3 to Colorado that put them on the path to selling at the deadline. And the last thing you would want to have happen is you lose 2 of 3 at home to the Rockies, and all of a sudden you find yourself 5 or 6 back again. And that was kind of the thing where it felt like that was it for them, still kind of being in contention. And again, I don't think they're a playoff team. I'd love for them to be a playoff team, but I think the idea, one of my things was when we were talking, when we were going through the stupid buy or sell conversation over and over and over and over again, one of my things was there is value in playing, especially for a younger group, there's value in playing games that matter in September. And I saw somebody on social media today, because I tweeted out something about them being within 3.5 games of a playoff spot. And somebody tweeted back at me about, oh, well, this would be perfect. They go get the horrible third wild card spot. You're not playing to be the third wild card. This organization has made it very clear that from a long-term perspective, they expect at some point in time to be competing at the highest level and contending for World Series once again. This isn't the year that that's going to happen. So in a year where we kind of know what it is, where they sold at the deadline, where they're giving young guys opportunities, while all these things are happening, if at the same time they're able to play games that matter in September, and who knows, somehow they accidentally kind of back their way into a playoff spot. If all that happens in a year where there were very little expectations, I think that's a bonus, and I think that puts the organization another half step forward.
I agree with you. There have been plenty of seasons where I thought they should have pushed chips in a little bit more when it came to the deadline, and don't look at it like, hey, just win the division and anything can happen. To me, it was, no, you need to get yourself closer to what the Dodgers are, get yourself closer to what the Braves are. Those are the teams you have to worry about in the playoffs. But for a year like this, I would be satisfied if they, finish a game out or something, or miraculously get in and then get bounced right away. That to me is a successful year, because it wasn't supposed to be that.
Huge, just being where they're at right now, there's some level of success because the expectations were so low. And the fact that this team they sold, and the guys in the clubhouse are continuing to play baseball at a fairly high level, and they're finding ways to win games. They did not just quit and I don't think professional ball players ever just quit. Like, that's something that fans say that it doesn't really happen. But sometimes the team sells and you're just looking around the clubhouse and you don't see a major league team, and it's a little bit tougher to get motivated just from a human nature standpoint. And that's not happening right now with this team. I think you really appreciate the JoJo Romeros and the Riley O'Briens and guys like that, whose roles have become that much bigger because Ryan Helsley and Phil Maton aren't around anymore. In these games that the Cardinals have the lead, they are still closing them out in the final few innings, and that's a really, really important thing for this young group.
Yadier Molina in the dugout for a couple of the games over the weekend. I know Cardinals fans salivate seeing him down there, thinking, oh man, maybe someday he's our manager, or just happy that he will become a manager in Major League Baseball.
It's the first one. Come on, Ron. It's the first one.
It is, but I do think there are people who would like to see him just be in the game. I say that they need to kind of reel it in. If your expectation is he's the manager and suddenly this is a great baseball team and not just an okay baseball team, you got to temper yourself, because that's just not how it works.
No, it's not how it works. And I want to scream this one to the high heavens, because I got so kind of frustrated with some of the narratives out there. Oliver Marmol invited him to be in the dugout. They have a very close relationship. They are good friends. Yadier Molina really, really respects Marmol as a manager. This was Ollie's decision. This was not a John Mozeliak decision. I saw a lot of stuff on social media where people were saying, oh yeah, Ollie really made that choice. Like, who else would have made that choice? Like, we need to bring a little common sense into this whole thing. Ollie and Yadi are tight. Ollie, whether you like him or dislike him, there are some very truthful things that we can say about him, and he is very comfortable in his own skin. He is unlike other very few managers in Major League Baseball would sense the kind of the environment that they're in, where so many people are unhappy with them, and so many people would love to see this other guy be the manager and still walk that manager into the dugout. It says a lot about Ollie as just a human being more than anything else, that he wanted to give that opportunity. And fans should appreciate it. Like, Ollie talked a lot about, hey, this is going to be cool for the fans. And what was the first thing that happened on Friday night? They sent Yadi out to exchange the lineup card. So the first opportunity to put him out there in some sort of public way, Ollie jumped at the opportunity to do that. This is something that he thought that fans would enjoy, and he did it, and a lot of credit goes to him.
Here's another thing too. I think Cardinals fans should be careful what they wish for in something like this, because while I do think he would be very good at the job, he's clearly a very smart baseball guy. It does not guarantee his teams will be good because that's dependent on the roster. Now, I have seen fan favorites, absolute fan favorites, get turned on by their fan bases. And I mean, like, the fan base turns on them. I was in Chicago when Robin Ventura, who was beloved by White Sox fans, became the manager. That team stunk because the roster stunk and everybody turned on him. So I would just be I'd be very careful about wanting Yadier Molina in the dugout. Not that I would be against it ever in the future, just slow down, because you never know what can happen. You never know what kind of roster they could put together for him, and maybe it would fall on him, even though it wouldn't be his fault. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? Like somebody who just passed away in Ryan Sandberg, there was a lot of times where he was connected to the Cubs managerial job, and a lot of people brought up the time, look, managers get fired. Do you really want to be in a situation where you have to
fire Yadier Molina?
Right. Like that's, you get a job to eventually be fired from that job. So there is reason to, you really want to make sure that it's going to work. If it's going to work, well, then a bad ending is probably worth it. And, look at Mike Matheny, right? Like Matheny, it ended poorly for him, but he's back around the organization. We see him every once in a while. I would actually love for him to be more involved in the organization now, whether it is coming in as a spring training instructor or spending some time with minor league catchers and things like that. But yeah, time heals most of these wounds, but you really don't want the optics of a legendary player for your organization maybe failing as a manager and having a short stint as a manager, and then you're forced to fire.
It doesn't mean you don't take the chance. It just means
I would say
temper your expectations.
It's the kind of the baseball version of like, don't go into business with friends.
Yes, it is. Yes.
It's kind of how it is, because you might fundamentally change the friendship.
That's right.
And a quick note too, because I do think Ollie just seems to be very candid, very accessible to the fans. He wants to talk to the fans. He doesn't shy away from the media. And just as a reminder, Ron, you'll be able to talk to Ollie about this weekend. Tomorrow at noon for the Gas House Gang, Ollie joins the show for like 30 or 40 minutes every Tuesday.
Yep. So that's tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Matt Pauley listens.
I do.
I listen.
And then we cut it up and we play it. We play cuts of it during the Redbird Rush Hour, and we basically respond to the things that he said. So we make that thing last for a while.
Yeah, well,
I cut it up and I put my voice asking the questions.
Here's a question I asked Oliver Marmol. You weren't even in the room. That is
do you remember there was a controversy? There was a radio station a few years ago that would take press conference audio and then they would put questions in like they were interviewing the person who was up on the press conference.
What?
Was it a joke or were they?
No, it was real, and they finally got called out for it and they stopped. But yeah, they had to like, hey, now joining us, the general manager of the Cleveland Browns. How about that game on Saturday?
No way.
And then, yes, it was.
And they were using press conference sound bites.
Yes.
That's awful.
I just thought of it. Tyler, take this idea down. Like, we're talking to Tom Cruise tomorrow.
Yeah, what the hell? I knew a guy. I before we go to break here, I knew a guy who would do a show and he would say, "Yeah, I asked the manager this question," and he would make it sound like he had a one-on-one with him, but it was just in front of a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
And he would, he would just make it sound like I pulled him to the side and I talked to him. We had a long conversation, but it wasn't. It was just from the press conference. He would do it all the time.
I will say, like when I run cuts from media scrums and I'm going through it, when there are answers to questions that you asked, sometimes I will say I asked them this, but that's different. Part of a larger thing.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, it would always be like, he told me this. Well, yeah, he told everybody that.
Yeah, he told everybody. Yeah,
it was. Yeah. Everybody was there. We all saw it. All right. Matt Pauley tonight, Redbird Rush Hour at 5 o'clock. And then the pregame show, you will have Cardinals baseball. And the broadcast starts at 5:50, 6:45, first pitch from Busch Stadium, Cardinals, Rockies, Colorado Stings.
Yes, all true.
That's Matt Pauley with us here on KMOX. So make sure you do. Redbird Rush Hour, they get into quite a bit at 5 o'clock, and usually it runs into the pregame show. So plenty of Cardinals talk right here on the flagship, the home of the Cardinals for the next several years. Don't forget about that, baby. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Tom Ackerman for Busey Bank and Building Community. We are proud to recognize Doorways as a building community partner. Doorways helps those who are invisible and ignored by society, people navigating poverty, homelessness, and serious illnesses like HIV. While HIV has become treatable, the number of cases continues to rise in the disenfranchised community. Building community means nobody should be invisible. Learn more about Doorways at doorwayshousing.org.
This is Pat Buring, Executive Vice President of Busey Bank. I'm so proud to recognize Doorways, the only agency in the region dedicated to providing housing to individuals living with HIV and their family members. Doorways sees to it that clients receive on-site services to manage their lives, opening doorways to independence and opportunity. That's what building community is all about. Join Busey. Get involved as we continue building the communities we call home.
It doesn't take a lot to make a big difference.
That's why we've teamed up with Jerry Kelly Heating and Cooling to bring you 100 acts of kindness.
For the next 6 months, the Chris and Amy Show is challenging you to spread kindness in simple, meaningful ways. No big budget needed.
Write a thank you note, help a neighbor, surprise someone with a smile. It all counts.
Let's prove that kindness is contagious. Share your acts with us by using hashtag 100KindActs.
Because a little kindness goes a long way.
Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort, offering small ship experiences with a shore excursion included in every port and programs designed for cultural enrichment. Discover more at Viking.com. That's Viking.com.
Here's a few questions for you from California Psychics. Do your workdays seem to go on forever? Is your career progression as fast as downtown traffic? Or does your boss still not know your name?
Hey, you, Tina, Lisa, Sheila, whatever. Get that report to me by lunch, okay? It's Carrie, ma'am. Just get it done, Terry.
It's time to read the career warning signs and talk to California Psychics. We're always on hand to give you the career guidance you need. You see, we only connect you with the very best. In fact, 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us don't make the grade. That's why we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. So you could soon be telling your boss where to stick that report.
Where are you going, Terry? Terry!
Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
Your home sold guaranteed, or I'll buy it. Hi, I'm Gloria Liu, broker owner at Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And for over 20 years, I've been getting my home sellers the most money for their home and selling faster than the average agent. So when you're ready to sell your home or have questions, call me.
And I'm Debbie Monterey. For years, I've been telling you about Gloria Liu and why you should call her. Gloria has solutions and programs for every seller because she understands that every situation is different. Call Gloria and get your free instant home valuation, choose from multiple cash offers, or sell with certainty this summer because Gloria will guarantee upfront and in writing to sell your home at 100% of market value, or she will pay the difference. Hey, the St. Louis market is shifting. Now is a great time to call and get to know Gloria Liu like I have. Call 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Eileen talks about her experience with 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
A lot of gross kitchen in the beginning, cracked formica, bad floor, ripped linoleum, and I decided to heck with this. I want it done. And I found an ad from 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. I called him. Dave brought all of his stuff. We talked about what I wanted. I chose the materials. It was very easy. He came in, he did what he said. They did it in the time frame that they said, at the cost that they said. His crew was delightful. We came home, everything had been cleaned up. I would say people are silly not to do 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. I just love it. It's just like I moved into a new home.
It's about time.
3 days or less
at 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app.
Well, clocks are a big deal in a radio station. We live our lives in seconds. And we've got digital clocks and analog clocks. And the analog clock has been fixed. But the digital clocks say like 00 or 11.
Or it says 12 o'clock all the time.
Yeah. They're just broken, right? And so we were, I would say, good-naturedly ribbing our engineer, brilliant engineer, Kyle, about the clocks still not working. And he said, I need to teach everyone here to read an analog clock. You've got a giant analog clock right there with the second hand. Follow the analog clock. And I showed him my watch, which I got for Christmas. And it's one of those.
It's a nice watch.
It
is. Is it a Timex? What is it?
It's whatever would be like a Timex knockoff. But maybe
it's a Timex knockoff.
Well, you get it like
Timex
Kohl's
is
or
already
something.
Reasonable. Okay, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's like a Kohl's, like $15 watch. But I love it because the style reminds me of like the watches the moms used to wear in the 80s, the little gold bracelet watches.
Yes.
It's like a $15 watch. Oleo. Anyway, and I showed him my analog watch. He said, see, look I can read time. He said, it's very nice. It's upside down though. I've been wearing my watch upside down all day.
So
well, but here's the thing.
For a smart person.
Well, obviously, I haven't looked at it, except I have. That's the problem. I thought, well, at least I haven't looked at my watch, but I do think I looked at it once, and I think I got the right time.
Did you think it was like 6 p.m. instead of whatever time it really was?
Gosh, it's 6:37. At any rate, it's right side up now, and there is a giant analog clock.
I wonder how many people could still read analog clocks. Listening.
It's sad. I remember learning in my homeschool days, Saxon math. We learned analog clocks in like kindergarten.
So do we. You should be able to know it. And we should really go back to sundials, figure those out. Amy Marchkors, Chris Ranji, hour 3 of the show is coming up, and you need to stick around for it. Odyssey app, 104.1 FM, KMOX, whatever you're listening to. When we come back, political commentator Chris Cillizza will join the show. A lot of national stuff to get to. We'll do it next on KMOX.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson. Paid for by Action Matters. Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out.
Attention parents of children who have used the gaming platform known as Roblox. If your child was a victim of sexual abuse or harm of any kind while using the Roblox platform, you may be entitled to compensation. Roblox is facing multiple high-profile lawsuits, including an ongoing class action, alleging it failed to protect users from foreseeable dangers that led to the grooming, exploitation, and sexual abuse of minors on the platform. Claims allege Roblox turned a blind eye to predators, unsafe games, and deceptive monetization practices that targeted children. Victims were contacted through in-game chats and coerced into private conversations on third-party apps. If you believe your child may have been a victim of grooming, sexual abuse, or harm of any kind while using the Roblox platform, you may be entitled to a cash settlement. Text our helpline now to find out if you have a viable compensation claim against Roblox. Text GONE to 32 32 32. That's GONE to 32 32 32. GONE to 32 32 32.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more, 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Are you not spending enough time in your outdoor space? Do you have friends or neighbors who spend a lot of time outdoors? It's because they have an incredible setup with a nice deck or a sunroom or a screen room, a good canopy or a patio with a pergola with adjusting slats. I mean, they've just got it decked out so that you could just spend all that time in the summer or the fall or the winter. You can have that too if you call Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Chesterfield Fence and Deck is the sign you have the very best. And whether you're looking for a fence, a deck, a patio, a pergola, whatever it is, from a simple project to a complete outdoor space makeover, Chesterfield Fence and Deck has been in business for 57 years with an incredible reputation. They do great work. If you mention me, Debbie Monterey, they'll offer you 48 months interest-free financing. Just dream of what your outdoor space could be and how much time you could spend out there. If you call Chesterfield Fence and Deck, chesterfieldfence.com.
Mid-America's most trusted voice for news. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 11 o'clock, we've got sunshine right now, 84 degrees downtown at the Arch. The president takes aim at homelessness in the nation's capital.
President Trump is promising to discuss his plans to make the District of Columbia safer and more beautiful as Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser voices concern over the potential use of the National Guard to patrol the streets.
The crime is ridiculous.
On Thursday, the president directed an increased federal law enforcement presence.
You're going to be safe walking down streets. You're not going to get mugged.
On True Social Sunday, the president criticized the district as full of tense, squalor, filth, and crime, and seems to have been set off by the attempted carjacking and beating of Edward Korestein, a 19-year-old former Doge technology staffer now working for the Social Security Administration.
Handsome guy that got the hell knocked out of him.
Police caught and arrested two 15-year-olds as the crime was happening and said they were looking for a group of others. And over the weekend, FBI agents in flak jackets were seen patrolling the lively U Street corridor. Mayor Bowser noted that violent crime in Washington has decreased in the last 2 years. Jennifer King, Washington.
Later today, St. Louis County Council member Dennis Hancock will officially announce his campaign for county executive. Hancock is a Republican who says his platform will be about economic growth and jobs and public safety. Hancock was the mayor of Fenton for 12 years. Just last week, Democratic State Senator Brian Williams announced he'll run. St. Louis City Sheriff Alfred Montgomery might sue if the Board of Aldermen gives him what his attorney calls an unfunded mandate.
The board recently passed a bill out of committee codifying the sheriff's responsibilities, which includes transporting detainees in need of medical care. While the board insists this has always been the responsibility of the sheriff, Montgomery and his legal staff say otherwise. Montgomery's attorney, former Judge David Mason, tells KMOX they will look into legal action if the full board passes this bill.
If the bill proceeds, then we'll have to take a serious look at asking a court to determine whether or not it's a legal transfer of duties. Can it be done legally?
Mason argues the board cannot legally give the sheriff's department a new responsibility without funding it. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
A St. Louis attorney who went on to serve as both a federal prosecutor and a judge before taking on the roles of FBI director and CIA director has died. William Webster's family announced his passing at age 101. Those who opposed him in court or disagreed with his rulings acknowledged that his honesty was beyond question. The FBI shared this archived comment from Webster on his 100th birthday.
It's unquestionably clear to me that the role of the FBI is being seen throughout the United States as a one of high degree of professionalism, dedication, and of delivering where delivering is necessary.
Webster's memorial service will be held in Washington on September 18th.
A swing and a ground ball right to Sajaci. He steps on second. That's a Redbird winner and a series win over the Chicago Cubs. Light it up in downtown St. Louis.
Don't look now, but the St. Louis Cardinals are 3.5 games out of a wild card spot after winning back-to-back series against the Dodgers and the Cubs. The Cardinals are taking on the Colorado Rockies tonight at home. The Rockies have the worst record in baseball, but they swept the Cardinals the last 2 times they met. Pre-game coverage begins at 5:50 on KMOX. The KMOX Business Desk, a 55-year-old restaurant chain, had a major remodel, and customers are not happy.
Cracker Barrel gave their restaurants a makeover, and customers are absolutely losing their minds on social media. One viral video got over 6 million views just to say, I hate it. The biggest complaint is that it looks like every other chain, or as this guy says, IKEA.
If I would have wanted to eat at Pier 1 or an IKEA store lobby, then that's where we go to eat.
Instead of the rustic country charm, the company says it went for brighter and more welcoming, but customers are responding with puke emojis and comments like, what are you thinking? Cooper Lawrence, CBS News.
Dow from Stifel down 80 points to 44,095. We've got a crash on Lindbergh South at McDonald Boulevard in the right lane. Some road work on 44 East at Bowles in the left lane. Stalled 270 South at Manchester on the right shoulder.
Clouds, sun, and humid this afternoon. There'll be a thunderstorm in a couple of spots with a high of 90. Patchy clouds, warm and humid, low 75 for tonight. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zaire on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Sponsored by Sachs Financial. We've got sunshine. It's 84 downtown. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Hey, it's Jeff Sachs at Sachs Financial, retiresafestl.com. Have you ever wondered what it's like to work with a financial advisor? Are you in your 50s or early 60s and really haven't talked to anybody about how you retire? Give me a call today. Check out our website, retiresafestl.com.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe.
Hour 3 of 3 on the Chris and Amy Show every Monday at just after 11 o'clock. We talk to our guy, Chris Cillizza, who is an independent news creator. You can see him on Substack, YouTube, Newsfear, also on News Nation. He's a contributor, and you need to sign up for his free newsletter. It's called So What? It is a daily newsletter, and it is there for you. Political commentator Chris Cillizza on the show. What's up, Chris?
Hello, friends.
Good to have you with us today. So it looks like President Trump has sent in the National Guard in Washington, D.C. for some reason, because it's the most dangerous place on earth, even though crime is down. So what's going on here, and how's this going to play politically?
Yeah, golly, big morning for D.C. Well, what's going on, I think, is twofold. One, a guy who was a very prominent DOJ staffer, a 19-year-old guy, was mugged about 10 days ago now in D.C. Donald Trump was alerted to that, and he has for a long time, if you go and look at his speeches during the 2024 campaign, because I went through all of them, I still remember them, they're imprinted on my brain, he has long maintained that D.C. has too much garbage, there are too many homeless people, he's criticized the medians on the highways in and out of D.C. So this is not a new kind of hobby horse for him, but I think the mugging of this guy supercharged it. I would point out, again, I'm not trying to say that it's not a good thing to reduce crime in Washington, but as you noted, Chris, there is not evidence, data-driven evidence that crime is worse today in Washington than it was a year ago. And in fact, on every major measure, on assaults, on robbery, on sexual assault, on violent crime, 2025 is down year over year from 2024, according to stats from the D.C. Police Department. And violent crime, according to the Department of Justice, hit a 30-year low in Washington in 2024. Now, again, I know people will cite other facts back and other data back and say, well, the Trump administration put out something this morning that said there are more murders per 100,000 people in D.C. than there are in Bogota, Colombia, for example. Yes, there are those stats. I know they exist. I am not trying to say that D.C. is a totally safe place. I don't think any big city is a totally safe place. I'm not against making it safer, but this feels like overkill. This feels like Donald Trump knows he's on very strong ground on crime, generally speaking. Donald Trump likes having a conversation centered on cracking down on sort of, criminal elements, thinks he can win there. And that's feels to me what's happening here more than this is like DC is. I can tell. I mean, look, I go into DC 3 times a week. DC is not out of control. I'm not arguing it's perfectly safe, but it is not. There are not roving bands on the streets every day.
So, Chris, can I ask you then, because last hour, the Wall Street Journal was still speaking in, obviously we've been on air, but last hour, the Wall Street Journal speaking in future tense with the National Guard, expecting 800 troops. Mm-hmm. Can you paint the picture for us? Have they arrived? How many people are there? What are you seeing in D.C.?
Yeah, so I have not been to D.C. since Friday night. There was no obvious sign there. I was on Capitol Hill, just so people know. I mean, D.C. is relatively spread out, but I was near the Capitol. There was no obvious signs to me of significantly increased police presence. I have not been there over the weekend, or certainly not this morning. Again, I think this is more about sending a signal and a symbol to his base than it's about sort of cracking down on a crime wave or a crime spree. That is not the case in DC. And again, like people, yes, I know that there is crime. There absolutely is. Yes, I am in favor of less crime. I'm not pro-crime. But just to be clear, like he is not doing this in response to a data-driven, evidence-based, non-anecdotal analysis of crime in Washington. Now, we could argue whether he should or he shouldn't, but that is not what he's doing.
So in doing this, it's a thing that clearly he thinks politically is going to work for him. Certainly his base is going to love it. They're going to, this is red meat for them. But is it going to work broadly?
Don't know. I always wonder how much people pay attention to this. Look, I think the idea that our cities are unsafe, whether it's data-driven or not, is out there. I would argue that Fox News, if you watch Fox News for a day or two, every crime that is committed in a major Democratic-run city in this country is covered by Fox News and is treated as though, every major city in this country is a hellhole. Are there dangerous parts in St. Louis, in Washington, D.C., in Hartford, Connecticut, where I grew up? Yes, of course there are. I just don't think that those anecdotal, someone getting mugged is not evidence that there is a crime spree in D.C. But do I think politically it will work for him? I probably do, yes, because I think sort of tough on criminal stuff, even if it's sort of a little bit made up about sort of the situation on the ground in Washington, I think generally that's certainly better ground for him than talking about tariffs, certainly better ground for him than talking about why the Epstein files haven't been released. That's the thing, right? It's not in a vacuum. It's against all these other issues. And given those other issues, yeah, this is a good thing for him to be talking about, politically speaking.
Yeah. And I mean, St. Louis obviously has a crime issue. And I've said this before, Chris, and this is very St. Louis centric, but St. Louis has a lot of crime. We're always one of the most dangerous cities, if not the most dangerous city. And that's because partly we have high crime, but we're also hemorrhaging people. So I say every city has crime for sure. Chicago has crime, but in Chicago, crime is like, where's Waldo? You're trying to find Waldo on the beach. In St. Louis, Waldo's the only guy on the beach. And so we notice it a lot.
Yep. And Amy, I would add that's true. I am always, given that I'm condemning or at least saying Donald Trump is basing a lot of this on anecdotes, I don't want to make it too anecdotal, but I will tell you, when I was at CNN is the DC bureau is very close to Union Station, the big train station there. It was pre-COVID, very active and bustling. If you go in there now, it is not active and bustling, although Amtrak has now taken it over, so it may change, but it is not active and bustling. And there are a lot of homeless people in there. There just are. So I understand why people feel this way. At the same time, I do think it's kind of less people are going into downtown Washington than ever before. Post-COVID, they're just. I mean, you see it with traffic. You see it with occupancy rates in buildings. I mean, look. I just again anecdotal. I mean, I go to DC a couple times a week. I go do TV hits there, and then I come back. I mean, I don't work there anymore. I live in Northern Virginia, and I do think that is part of it too. I think that's a really important point, and it holds for Washington, not just St. Louis.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I see some. I went to New York recently. Obviously saw some super sketchy, maybe intimidating characters, but you're surrounded by thousands of people, so you feel safe. If I run downtown and the only other guy on the street is the sketchy guy, it feels way more intimidating, and it is less safe because there is safety in numbers. So yes, I think that's a huge point. Moving on, I did want to ask you about the commissioner of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, recently fired by Donald Trump. He wasn't happy with the numbers. And I understand that, whenever you are anticipating or estimating future projections, you can be wrong. He wasn't happy with the numbers and so forth. My question is, doesn't that now, if you, for political purposes, fire the commissioner of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the next commissioner, if they happen to have good numbers, people are going to look at them like, yeah, you're just lying in order to appease the president. or if they have bad numbers, also might get fired. It kind of puts the next commissioner in an impossible situation.
For what reason do we have to believe numbers anymore now? Because he's done this.
Exactly.
And this is all his. I'm sorry, but this is all his doing. This is clearly ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, look, Donald Trump isn't going to come out, right? Whoever he picks as the next person who's going to lead the Bureau of Labor Statistics, he's not going to come out and be like, and this person will only produce numbers that are good for me and make me happy. But the person would have to be an idiot not to think and have spent the last 6 months on Mars to not understand that if the numbers are bad, that's bad for him or her. I mean, like it's not complicated. They fired the last person because the numbers aren't good. Look, I feel like this is true a lot of times with Donald Trump. He diagnoses problems pretty well. His solutions, in my opinion, are quite poor. Yes, I do not think in May and June the department charged with making an estimate on the job growth or loss in the country should miss by 258,000 jobs. That seems to me to be a problem. Mm-hmm. The solution would be, okay, are we using outdated methods? How are we getting here and how can we fix it, right? His solution is, this is because they're against me and therefore we're going to get rid of the person. No, like I think it can work better. I don't think any of us think that we want to. I mean, look, if I miss something by 250,000 in my job, it would be bad for me. But I would also want to say, okay, what did we miss? How can we make it better? That's not how he operates. He thinks everyone is out to get him and they're against him. And so his diagnosis is correct. His prognosis, how he solves the problem, again, in my opinion, is way, way off. And Chris and Amy, to your point, it of course will make the next person be hyper aware of the sort of like, okay, are these the numbers I put out? Can I do this, or is this going to cost me my job? And that's a problem. And no one should trust these numbers coming out now because he got rid of the last person because he didn't like the numbers.
So again, I asked this question on a different topic. Does this work politically for him to do something like this, or do people see through it? I don't know how many people pay attention. I hate to say it. I mean, I don't know that people know what the Bureau of Labor Statistics is, candidly. I think people have a rough sense of like, yeah, we should get those numbers right, but like getting rid of this person probably isn't the right solution. The question I have, Chris, is Donald Trump quite clearly views absolutely everything through a political lens. Everything is political. Every job, everybody, the Department of Justice is political. Everything is political. I don't know if the average person wants that. Do you want everything being done for purely political calculation or not? So I don't know if it's this one thing. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't think there is a straw that breaks the camel's back. I do think the kind of broader aggregation of this stuff could have an impact. It's like the DC stuff is similar. There's not really a lot of evidence that DC is this crime-ridden hellhole. Like he's doing this for political reasons. I don't think he loses or Democrats lose because of it. But Republicans lose because of it. But the aggregation over time, the accumulation over time, does that have an effect? That, to me, is where we should look. I would say it really only works with people who it's as long as the ends justify the means. As long as their party, their guy is in office, then it's okay.
Sadly, that's true. I mean, look, if you look at approval for trust in government, when Joe Biden was president, it was 5% among Republicans and 80% among Democrats. Now that Donald Trump is president, it's 80% among Republicans and 5% among Democrats. I mean, it's just, it's purely is it my team doing it? Well, then that's fine.
All right, let's do it next week, Chris. We appreciate it as always. What do you think,
guys?
Thank you.
Take care. Be well.
Chris Cillizza, he is the best. He joins us every Monday just after 11 o'clock. Catch his daily newsletter. It's called So What? You'll also catch him on News Nation, YouTube, Newsfear, and Substack. Chris Cillizza with us here on 104.1 FM KMOX. The weather, kind of gross. It's St. Louis. It's always gross, it feels like, in the summer. Is it worse than usual?
Historically gross?
Is it historically gross? Amy has answers next on KMOX.
Calling all future sportscasters. Sharpen your skills and learn from the best of the Missouri Broadcasters Association Sportscasters Forum Tuesday, September 16th in St. Louis. Join Cardinals beat reporters, broadcasters, and the legendary John Rooney, the voice of the Cardinals, for insider sessions on play-by-play, interviewing, reporting, and more. Then cap the day with a Cards-Reds game at Busch Stadium. Open to college students and broadcasting pros. Just $10 for students, lunch, and a game ticket. Space is limited. Registered by September 2nd at Missouri Broadcasters.org.
Dive into adventure this summer at the St. Louis Aquarium's Summer of the Shark. Get face to fin with some of the ocean's most awe-inspiring creatures in shark-themed exhibits, jaw-dropping displays, and interactive experiences for the whole family. Whether you're a fin-tastic fan or just curious, there's hands-on fun and fascinating facts around every corner at the St. Louis Aquarium. Don't miss your chance to make a splash. Plan your visit today at stlouisunionstation.com. That's stlouisunionstation.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-311-9595. That's 800-311-9595.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Tomorrow, some of us will wake up and it will be our last day on this earth. It will be unexpected and without warning. Each year, 250,000 people will die from medical malpractice, the third leading cause of death in America. 43,000 will die in a car or truck crash. 6,000 will die working on the job. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, and we represent many of these families. It's awful. Unfortunately, many times, some of these family members are not speaking and never get to say, I'm sorry or goodbye. If you're at odds with a loved one, listen closely. Pick up the phone. Call them. Say you're sorry. I promise a huge burden will be lifted from your heart and your soul will be renewed. Even if you're not wrong in your own mind, it doesn't matter. Death is bad enough. Death without closure and love will follow you the rest of your days. Trust me on this. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Refresh, restore, and protect your employees and customers. Call Zero Res to clean your business the right way so your floors and surfaces stay cleaner longer without the harmful chemicals the other guys use. Call 314-474-2020 or book online at ZeroResSTL.com.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX. Sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium. Explore the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station. 11:20 a.m. 104.1 FM and streaming on the Odyssey app. KMOX is with you, however you listen, wherever you listen.
Well, as Ranj mentioned a minute ago, it's gross in the summer in St. Louis. Very humid. It's not the humidity, it's the dew point. That's right. It's the dew point, and the dew point has been high. And we kept talking about this month of July, this past month, and how, yeah, it's not the hottest it's ever been. First of all, if I lived in the 30s between the Depression and the Dust Bowl, and it's like the worst snow and the worst heat, all happened in the 30s. Every time Dave Murray gives the record for the hottest day or the coldest day ever, it's always in the 30s.
I feel like the thermometers were broken.
I feel like in the 30s, I would have thought it was the end of the world. Yeah, and then you go right into World War II. I would have thought that was end times.
Speaking of dew point, you want to know what it is right now?
What is it?
72.
No, it's not.
It's disgusting.
Okay, so
72
here's the thing.
is so bad.
Here's the thing. While it's not the hottest summer on record, for everyone east of the Rockies, or most of the people east of the Rockies, which is more than 70 million Americans, it was the muggiest first 2 months of summer on record. We have never recorded the first 2 months of summer with more humidity or a higher dew point. Average daily dew points of 65 degrees 65 degrees or higher in June and July for everyone east of the Rockies is the highest consistent dew point ever recorded. It's and you're like, well, how do you know this? Well, the data was derived from the Copernicus Climate Service.
I know them.
Yeah. But I knew, because here's the thing. I don't remember it being this humid,
soupy,
day in and day out.
It's disgusting.
Because we've had a few 100-degree days in the past where, like, yeah, it's really hot, but this soupy, hot armpit. It's like I've said it's soupy weather. I've said it's armpit weather. This is like soup in your armpit weather.
Imagine hanging out in somebody's underwear all day.
Oh my god,
that's what this is.
Okay, too far.
No, it isn't.
Too far.
That's what it feels like. It's disgusting.
So
here's what I want to know. Where do I send my complaint on this? Because I would like to speak to a manager.
Probably China, because I know we're trying to do our best to offset climate change.
Well, so are they. They're not doing it for environmental purposes.
Yeah.
They're doing it because
I know they're trying, but I just looked at the emission thing. I don't know, from the climate, the world is getting hotter meter, and China and India are like light years ahead of everyone as far as how much they're polluting.
But they are working to make it better because they are seeing it from an economic perspective. They want to lead the world in clean energy.
Well, they're
probably going to, because they're working at it.
They're going to have to lead the world in clean energy 2 times over to make up for how much
and they'll probably
they're
do
polluting.
It. I know this. They're going to do it. They're going to bypass us because we have pulled back on all of it stupidly. But there you go.
Well,
let them lead the world on clean energy.
Yeah.
That's great for us.
Well, I mean, like I said, they're going to have to do it 2, 3, 4 times over because it's a disaster. The summer of 2025 has had dew points that average at least 6 degrees higher than every year from 1951 to 2020. This includes Washington, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Richmond, Columbus, and St. Louis. The average June and July humidity for the entire country east of the Rockies rose to more than 66 degrees, higher than any year since measurements started in 1950. It is the muggiest summer on record, and by golly, do I feel validated.
It's disgusting.
I'm not going to lie, guys, like, and 314-436-7900, I did something I've never done. I bet I've run 60,000 miles in the past 15 years. I had to go on a treadmill on a summer day because I felt like I felt sick, not sick like I've got a fever, but sick like nauseated and dizzy. And I hadn't even run that day yet. It was like the heat was cumulative. And after 2 weeks of doing, so many miles in the heat, I just feel sick.
It's awful. John is watching us on Facebook and says, at the peak of our misery a couple of weeks ago, Chris Higgins on Fox 2 noted a dew point of 80.1 on one day. If I wanted to live in the Mekong Delta, I'd have moved there.
Oh my gosh, I wish I had seen that. I've seen 78. I check throughout the day. I have never seen 80. Oh my gosh.
Colonel Ripper says, God, please stop whining about the weather. No, go. I'll tell you what, I will not. I'm not going to stop whining about it. And you can shut your face.
You have been pretty aggressive.
Every time you speak, you're putting more humidity in the air. So shut it, Ripper.
So 85% of the days,
awful out.
85% of the days in St. Louis this summer were like record muggy. In Clarksville, Tennessee, 92% of the days. Nashville, Tennessee, 93% of their days. All of these are record-setting dew points. I just feel so validated. I am thrilled to death.
I hate it.
Thrilled to death.
I hate it.
I've sweated out.
I hate it.
Is good.
I hate it. I want to return it. Can I send it back?
Oh, Colonel Ripper told you to get bent.
He did. No, I won't, Ripper. You can shut the hell up. How about that? It's gross, and I'm going to continue to tell you how gross it is outside, and then tell you to go sit out. You know what, Ripper? Why don't you go sit outside?
Jeez,
go put on a coat and sit outside in this St. Louis summer.
What happened to you in Sheboygan that you're so aggressive toward the listener today?
Big flooding. Lots of flooding happened.
That's right.
Yeah. Be careful out there, everybody. Except for Ripper. Go outside in a big jacket and coat.
Oh, my gosh.
Hey, Sean
you
Malone.
are so aggressive today.
Sean Malone
it's
from
the Granite City in you coming out.
That's right. You guys have got me fired up. Sean Malone from the KMOX newsroom. He's
that
covering
steel mill purely on personality.
I got a lot of energy, so they better keep that thing open for 2 years. All right. So Sean Malone from the KMOX newsroom coming in next. He is covering our sheriff. He's
your sheriff.
My sheriff. That and more. We're going to talk it over with our guy, Sean Malone, KMOX reporter, next on 104.1 FM.
The Dave Glover Show.
If you sit down with me and we talk about who I am, what I am, my values, political, voting record, you're never going to walk away and go, that guy's a bleeding heart progressive. I'm just not stupid. And I just don't take bait. And I just don't do things because you tell me to, or that I'm afraid that if I don't, fall in line or get on the bandwagon, people aren't going to like me. Been there, done that for years.
The Dave Glover Show, now on FM, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
This report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan of McKelvey Homes. Have you always wished for a brand new home in an established neighborhood? Select one of our move-in ready custom homes throughout St. Louis, or we will build on your lot. Visit McKelveyhomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
Chris Ranji for Siteman Cancer Center, and you have to know that you are somebody's favorite person, and your health matters not just to you, but it matters to people who care about you. Getting screened early for any cancer, whether it's colon or breast cancer, prostate cancer, or lung cancer, it is important to do that. Siteman has set up a website called GetScreenedNow.com. And when you go to it, it's going to help you find a location nearer you. If you live a little farther out from St. Louis and don't want to make the trip into the city, you can get screened closer to home. GetScreenedNow.com, because for me, I'm over 45. It's time for that colonoscopy. Third leading cause of cancer-related deaths in both men and women. And GetScreenedNow.com will help you find a location that is good for you. Doing it early, really, really important. GetScreenedNow.com.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius or two half geniuses and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Home title theft. It's on the rise, and it's devastating if it happens to you. Listen to the alarming words of an actual home title thief.
I don't need to know your date of birth and social security number. All I have to do is go to public records, create a document, and file that document. And then I can borrow against the house or sell the house. You may have no clue until you find out that your house has been sold or till several loans or several banks are foreclosing on you.
For pennies a day, Home Title Lock puts a virtual barrier of protection around your home's title with 24/7 monitoring. The instant they detect any tampering, you'll get an alert, and that's bad news for home title thieves. So when's the last time you checked on the title to your home? Find out if you're already a victim with your free title scan and complete title report. $100 value free with sign up. Just go to HomeTitleLock.com and sign up in minutes. That's HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com.
1 in 4 people surveyed by Bankrate.com say they're literally losing sleep because of worries that they may have not saved enough to retire. If you're ready to get serious about planning for your financial future, you could start by listening to the All Financial Hour with host Steve All of the All Financial Group.
What are your wishes, hopes, and dreams? What's retirement look like for you? Because everybody, that picture is different. If you want assistance, we can also help you at that point.
Saturday mornings at 10 or Sunday evenings at 6. right here on KMOX.
We all have someone we love, like the favorite lyric in our favorite song. You can't imagine life without them. So tell them today, I love you. Get screened. It could help save their life. Visit cancer.org/getscreened to learn more.
Cards manager Ollie Marble joins the Gas House Gang every Tuesday at noon. Sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center on the voice of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX. Now, Chris and Amy visit with the KMOX newsroom.
They're always cooking up something in that newsroom. And from my understanding is they're coming after my sheriff. So I got a lot of problems with this.
I can't believe you're even.
Is that why you're in a grumpy mood today?
Yeah, I don't feel good about this. I'm
Malone
pretty pissed, honestly.
From the KMOX newsroom, I can't believe these two are sitting so close to each other because, I mean, you may as well be going after Ranji's mom.
Yeah.
Like, that's how much he loves the sheriff.
Yeah, Sheriff Alfred
Is the city
Montgomery.
of St. Louis trying to dictate what her job is? And
They might as well, because they're already coming after my guy, Sheriff Alfred Montgomery. What did he do this time? He just look. That's what taxpayer money is for. It's to be spent, is it not?
Sure, but on appropriate things and keeping a maintained budget.
So what's the problem right now?
Well, to use your mother as another example,
hey, get my mom out of this. She didn't
if
do
you
anything
guys
to you.
had to put food on the table,
Yeah.
and Mrs. Ranji, who I'm sure is a wonderful woman,
she's a lovely
was
lady,
out getting new uniforms and things like that, shiny new badges,
as she used to do for us kids.
instead of buying the groceries so
Yeah.
little Chris Ranji could grow up big and strong. Then I think people would be upset about that.
Well, so are you not supposed to have new uniforms?
If you can afford new uniforms, you can get new uniforms.
Can the city of St. Louis not afford new uniforms for their sheriff?
When they're
deputies?
$500,000 over budget already, that's where the consensus from a lot of the Board of Aldermen who've been upset with some of these purchases have said, is this something that needed to be spent right now? Or could this have waited a little bit longer till the budget is balanced?
So we know about the new Chevy Tahoe, the $56,000 Tahoe. We know about the $28,000 for gold-plated badges. We know about 18 grand for new uniforms. I don't know what it's
Golf
supposed
carts?
to.
You forgot the golf
the
carts.
used golf
Robots.
carts, security robots. I know that. I do not know typically what a sheriff's office spends, but it sounds like, based on what the aldermen in the city have been saying and the objections that they have been filing, that it's over the top, especially with the budget concerns.
And
That's what we're trying to get to the bottom of, right?
That's the big problem at the end of the day. Nobody would care about these expenses if it was within the budget. But the fact that the budget has been out of whack ever since the higher-ups, the senior staffers from the Betts administration were let go, they had to be paid out for unpaid PTO and time off and things like that, which totaled with some of these guys in the decades of experience they had. $500,000 is what they had to be paid out. That just blew up the entire budget. And that's where a lot of these expenses are things that are not super timely or necessary. Can you wait another year or two to get new uniforms?
Well,
Can you wait another year or two to get new badges? We talked before about how the previous vehicle, it wasn't a Tahoe, it was some other Chevy vehicle, but it had 60 something, maybe a little under 70,000 miles, according to Vernon Betts. Yeah,
that he replaced.
Could you go another 2 years with that kind of a vehicle? That's where the people that have been upset about these payments, that's where they've been coming from. It's not that these payments are just it's anything improper with what was purchased themselves. It was, look at the big picture at the budget. Did you have to now?
So
Or could you have waited another 2-3 years?
$6,000 for security robots, $18,000 for new uniforms, $28,000 for gold-plated badges, $56,000 for his new shiny black Tahoe. We didn't even mention the golf carts, which were like tens of thousands of dollars. The office spent
I think it was something like 11 for 4 golf carts, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I have 4 used golf carts, 11,000, I think it was. And again, that's another expense where it's like, is that really necessary in the grand scheme of things, the budget being out of whack?
And $5,000 to retain an attorney specializing in federal criminal defense. And here's my question. Why do we even have a sheriff's office? This is not a police officer. This is not like, well, we support law enforcement downtown. I hate to I'm not poo-pooing the sheriff, but I kind of am. It's not really law enforcement. It's to keep the court safe, which I feel like you could eliminate this office and just assign police officers to that duty. He doesn't need all these cars and golf carts. He guards the courts and then transfers sick patients.
And that's what one of the big hangups right now in the, I guess, I don't want to call it a battle, but rift that has grown between the Board of Aldermen and the St. Louis City Sheriff's Office. That could be a big factor in whether or not he's able to retain his job with this quo warranto. I'll get to that in a second. But you mentioned transporting detainees in need of medical care. That is the big hang up right now with this board bill that has now been passed out of committee as of late last week, that codifies the job for the St. Louis City Sheriff of this is what your job is supposed to be in its core responsibilities. It also had a little factor in there that any sort of expense that they make, the paperwork's got to go to the comptroller's office. Credit where it's due. Austin Hughley of the Post-Dispatch had a great report where he was able to get some of the discretionary funds from the sheriff's office that are not overseen by the city of St. Louis currently. So they could spend that money on anything they want at all. This is funds that comes from land tax sales, comes from concealed carry permitting, things of that nature is where that money comes from. So that, they were able to shed some light on some of that. That stuff would now be publicly available because it would go, or I guess more easily accessible to the city of St. Louis because it would have to go to them first, if I understand this bill correctly. But the transporting detainees for medical care is the big hang up right now. Sheriff Montgomery and his attorneys say that is not a current responsibility of the sheriff's department. It's not in the city law to do that. It is the responsibility of the City Justice Center. And you mentioned the jobs that is right now the responsibility of the sheriff. Maintaining the jail is not the responsibility of the St. Louis City Sheriff, unlike sheriffs in other counties and municipalities. That doesn't happen here. In St. Louis County, that's the sheriffs that do that. In other counties across the state, it's the sheriffs that maintain the jail. Not in St. Louis City, the city maintains the jail. So Sheriff Montgomery is arguing that is not our responsibility. By including this in the law that makes it our responsibility, his attorneys are saying it's an unfunded mandate. It's saying that you have to do this thing without providing additional funding to be able to do it, which is improper and illegal. It would be blocked, essentially. And they've kind of hinted that they would sue. There is some question long-term of whether or not this has been a responsibility of the sheriff's department. Previous sheriff's administrations have done it. And if you go back a couple administrations ago, I forget which sheriff, it wasn't Betts, it predates him, but a prior sheriff was asking for increased funding for the sheriff's department. And he and the city struck a deal saying, well, we'll give you that funding if you guys take on the responsibility of transporting the detainees to the hospital. So there's the counter argument the city would have of it's not an unfunded mandate. It is a funded mandate per this agreement from decades ago.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't have any issue if the sheriff's office says, well, wait a minute, maybe this is the way they have just done it before, but it's not written that we have to do it.
Yes, and that's the argument they're making.
And I think it's okay to clarify that. I mean, should that not be...
It should be clarified, but they're
defined.
Digging in their heels of this is not our responsibility to transport these detainees. So we don't have to be held responsible to do it. And a big factor in that is that's one of the 6 counts against Sheriff Montgomery in the quo warranto. Again, this is the effort by Attorney General Andrew Bailey to remove Sheriff Montgomery from office. There are 6 counts against him. If Bailey wins in the November trial on any one of those 6 counts, Montgomery is out. And Bailey is basically arguing that Montgomery is not doing the responsibility of the St. Louis City Sheriff because he's not transporting all these detainees. He's only doing it in some instances, but a lot of instances they're saying, no, that we can't do that. We don't have the availability to do it right now.
So in a nutshell, what does Sheriff Alfred Montgomery think his job is?
That is a great question. Because we've seen, and it's in the quo warranto, it's one of the counts against him, that he has gone outside his responsibility as sheriff. For example, detaining the deputy commissioner of the City Justice Center back in, I believe it was February, maybe March. Like, that's not a responsibility of the sheriff's department. He said he was there to conduct an investigation into the allegations against one of his deputies for having allegedly having a sexual relationship with one of the detainees of the City Justice Center. That's not his responsibility to conduct those kinds of investigations. And when he was told no, he's not going to get access to the camera feeds that they have there. He ordered the deputy commissioner of the City Justice Center to be detained. Now, that's one of the counts that's against him. So Sheriff Montgomery has gone outside of the core responsibilities of the sheriff department. As you said, it's not a law enforcement agency. It's not a police department. And that's kind of where this bill actually started to bring things full circle. You know, Sheriff Montgomery was asked by Alderman Matt Devote if a bill such as this, codifying his responsibilities as sheriff, would be helpful to him. And he said, yes, it would. Now, his attorneys have since walked that back and have kind of tried to play it as, oh, no, he said yes without getting legal advice from us. He should have done that first. We disagree. We don't think this bill is very helpful. So now they're kind of backing off on how helpful that bill was. But, you know, outlining the responsibility of the sheriff for the sheriff was at one point helpful, according to him.
Do you think there has ever been, since he has taken over the sheriff's office, do you think there has ever been a moment where he has earnestly said out loud to people, there's a new sheriff in town? And then said, I can do this, or I can do B, whatever I want to, because there's a new sheriff in town.
Here's what I would say. Nobody knows what's going on. It's just, it's madness. But I feel like it would be so easy to just insert Cosmo Kramer from Seinfeld as like he accidentally becomes the sheriff, and he's like, oh, that's not my job, or that is my job. That's not my job. Oh, I need some new badges, gold badges. The whole thing would be, it feels like a Seinfeld episode if Kramer is the sheriff, because that's what this feels like. And he rolls gold dice to see who gets to keep his job. To me, this is a brilliant Seinfeld episode. Have Kramer be the sheriff, and that's exactly what this feels like. Because I could see him doing that. He would want to buy a new car, new badges, new outfits.
Thinking nobody's checking.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Look,
you don't even work here.
All right. Well, Sean Malone, KMOX reporter in The Intrepid, I'm going to need you to lay off my guy.
I got a job to do.
Lay him off? Or
no.
You said lay off my guy.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what the Attorney General is trying to do.
Stay away from him.
Oh, it sounds like you wanted him to get fired.
No. I clearly not. Save my sheriff, remember? SMS.
I've been fair to the sheriff all this time.
Well, it's pissing me off.
Ronji's got a campaign here.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about fair or unfair.
Who wants to get on board with the Save My Sheriff campaign? Just text the show, 314-436-7900.
You're saying it's a witch hunt.
This is a witch hunt, Sean. I wish I'd have fake news. All you...
Sean, you can leave. You don't have to. This guy.
No, this is entertaining.
Okay.
No, far, I don't know, somewhere you're far left or far right, whatever you are.
If anybody wants to remind themselves of the difference between a reporter and an opinion giver, listen to this segment. Yeah. Sean's the reporter. Ronj and I are the stupid opinion givers. They were like, oh, yeah, did you see that story? Here's what I think.
Well,
that's the difference.
I've been fair to the sheriff, and Ronji's like, I don't care. That's not what I'm looking for.
Leave my sheriff alone. My sheriff. Okay.
I'll leave your mother alone, too.
Okay. Yeah, she didn't do anything to you. Damn. All right, Sean Malone. Very, very good stuff. Thank you, buddy.
Anytime, guys.
Sean Malone from the KMOX newsroom. He'll be continuing to cover this story. And he's an activist. That's what it is. He's an activist reporter.
Oh my gosh.
Trying to get my sheriff fired. It's the Chris and Amy show on KMOX.
Hey, Illinois. This is Ben Barnett, board-certified master arborist and owner at Timberline Professional Tree Care. Sorry, St. Louis. This message is for our friends in the Metro East. Did you know that most Missouri-based tree contractors can't legally travel into Illinois? This is due to federal motor carrier regulations that require large trucks and their drivers to be registered with the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration in order to travel across state lines. Almost all other tree services in Missouri fail to meet the requirements for safety, drug and alcohol testing, and equipment maintenance that are required for interstate travel. Here at Timberline, we meet and exceed all of these requirements and will be glad to travel across the river to meet all of your tree care needs. Call us today at 636-479-7475 for tree fertilization, pruning, insect and disease treatment, or complete removal. Or visit our website at stltreecare.com. That's stltreecare.com for service in the Metro East area.
Calling all future sportscasters. Sharpen your skills and learn from the best of the Missouri Broadcasters Association Sportscasters Forum Tuesday, September 16th in St. Louis. Join Cardinals beat reporters, broadcasters, and the legendary John Rooney, the voice of the Cardinals, for insider sessions on play-by-play, interviewing, reporting, and more. Then cap the day with a Cards-Reds game at Busch Stadium. Open to college students and broadcasting pros. Just $10 for students, lunch, and a game ticket. Space is limited. Register by September 2nd at MissouriBroadcasters.org.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Vira Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, registered investment advisors. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey. And between now and the end of the summer, chances are that you or someone you know is in the market to buy or sell a home. And like me, you probably know a few realtors. Well, yeah, I know several as well. But when someone I know needs to sell their home, I always recommend Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. I've been telling you about Gloria for years now, and here's why you should call. Because no matter what the market does, Gloria Liu will guarantee upfront and in writing to sell your home at 100% of market value, or Gloria will pay you the difference.
St. Louis home sellers, if you're looking for certainty and the most money guaranteed for the sale of your home, call me, Gloria Liu. My name is My Promise, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Call me directly at 314-325-6888 or visit me online at gloriahasthebuyers.com. That's gloriahasthebuyers.com.
Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit Lance, DRURY Law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Chris Raunchy, Amy Martzgors, because life is too short for boring radio. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
I hope we're not boring radio.
Oh, it says so in the promo.
Well, it doesn't say we're not boring. It just says life is too short for boring radio.
Well, yeah, they wouldn't say that unless it was implied that we weren't.
I don't know.
I don't know what you're worried about. Anyway, Amy, here we are.
We did have someone watching on Facebook, John. He asked if we would post a link to the climate data I quoted. It was an Associated Press story, and Ranj, I believe, has posted the link on our YouTube stream.
Yeah, it should be there.
If you are listening now and you're not on the YouTube, you can Google record muggy east of the Rockies, Associated Press. That's the story, because it is historically gross. Not the hottest temperature, mind you. We've had it. It was 108, like in 1930 or something. We had a string of days when it was over 105 degrees. It's not the hottest per se temperature-wise, but it's the highest dew point, recorded dew point for most Americans east of the Rockies in recorded history since 1950.
So I tried to post it on the
I'm not
chat.
seeing it. Looks like a fail.
On the chat. So I'm wondering if maybe YouTube does not allow you to post links in the
sense.
chat.
Yeah.
So just go find it on AP. So
or maybe I'll put it on our Twitter.
Oh yeah,
Chris and Amy show and say we told you so. That's what we'll do. We told you so.
Follow us on Twitter at Chris Amy KMOX. You should be following anyway. That way you can participate in our quotes of the week or our questions of the week and all the other fun stuff we do there. And you can watch the show live and all kinds of great stuff. So we'll have that posted there for you.
Yep, absolutely.
By the way, Amy.
Yeah.
Just this news that came in today. So we're all talking about streaming services, and we should get into this a little more. We all have streaming fatigue.
Yes.
That the cost of it is just getting so out of hand. And the whole reason people cut the cord in the first place was to cut costs.
Yep.
But it is more expensive than just having a cable subscription, So ESPN is going to a subscription service. They already have one, ESPN Plus. You can get a lot of programming on it, but ESPN standalone, it's called Unlimited, $40 a month, along with Fox One. So all this sports programming, you're going to get $40. Now you got to pay an extra $40 a month if you want all these games and whatnot.
I was talking to one of my friends. His son, is about to leave for school again, going back to college, but he joined us for our little coffee and run this weekend, and we were talking about services like Netflix that used to be great, used to be commercial free, used to be a great product and really affordable, and how it's gotten expensive. He goes, yeah, there's a word for it, and it's a cuss word. It's like blankification.
Yeah.
And he goes, it's a real thing. He's like, we call it blankification. It's you create a service, and I know it's not new, we just start naming things, but you create a service that actually provides a great service for people, or a product that provides a great service for people, and it's super affordable, and you get the masses hooked, and as soon as they're hooked, the quality goes down and the price goes up until all of a sudden, like boiling a frog, you're thinking, wait a minute, remember when Netflix had no commercials and it was like $9 a month?
This is exactly right.
It's called blankification. You get everyone hooked, which is brilliant. I mean, it's brilliant. Yep. They won us over. And then you can both decrease the quality and increase the price. And there's nothing we can do about it except maybe cut the cord, but we're hooked by then.
I feel like Hulu was the first to do it. Maybe I'm wrong, but they did this commercials thing a long time ago. Netflix is doing it, raising the costs, lowering the quality. I'm sick of it, man. I really, really am. All right, we got to go. Anything you missed on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast, go back and get it. We will be back, Amy and I, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning on the Chris and Amy Show, 104.1 FM, KMOX. The Gas House Gang is next. We'll talk Cardinals and more on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
You've got a ton of equity in your home. You're sitting on a gold mine, and you could do so much with all that cash.